Yeah. Saturday morning, we ready to go. You saw the thumbnail, and we've been working with this for a little bit now. A lot of you guys out there and a lot of the media this whole last week, they was nervous. They was grasping at straws. I'm going to tell you today that the reason why they was grasping at straws so tough, why Sorsby thing was so tough, I've been doing some digging around. And you know how it seems to be that people is changing up right in front of your face. You're seeming to be that you notice a couple of people that usually ain't pushing back is pushing back now. Well, the bat signal has been put out. Guys is talking behind the closed doors talking about this. You thought actually that Shadur Sanders he wasn't in the mix like that. Well, what if I told you that the reason that he was pushing Brendan Sorsby so tough is because when that bat signal got put out, you found out that not only the quarterback competition had narrowed, but you found out who actually is in the lead. Oh, yeah. I can show you. I'm going to show you. I know what it is. I get it. I understand that. But we going to get to it, man. A lot of y'all don't know it. Once again, you always get lost in the sauce. Everybody is swimming. Everybody is doing the backstroke, and you missed it. Behind the scenes, y'all guys is moving around funny style. And that's because you know what it's looking like. And you know the most likely choice for quarterback one and what that means for you. We got a lot to talk about today. Boy, buckle on up. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get to the Browns. We're going to get to the Todd Monkin situation and why it's even scarier what Todd Monkin has planned for quarterback one. It's just not that you quarterback one, it's what you can do with it. And we always talk about the artificial timetables. We got another person telling you about the artificial timetables. We're not going to do that today. Listen, 422 right on the intro. Get ready to go. And don't forget, we're giving out our t-shirt. We got a winner. We got a winner in here. Make sure you stay tuned because you're listening to the most electrifying show in all of sports entertainment. Not just where we at. No, not just in Cleveland, not just in Canton, not just in Akron. We talking about the whole entire country and world. You know what it is. You know how we give it up. It's the Barbershop. Yes, indeed. Get that coffee cup ready to go. We are energized in the Barbershop today. First and foremost, happy Saturday morning to everybody moving around out here. Yeah, if you feeling good today, if you feeling energized today, if you feeling like you ready to go today, let me know. Put the ones in the chat and we're going to get it going, man. We got some great news for you today. Like we said, thanks for everybody. Here's what I'm telling you to do. Here's what I'm going to let you know. I am going to be giving out because I want the Barbershop to be the coldest in the game. I want it to not even be close. When you watch the Barbershop, you're going to say, man, G. Bush and Rosie do it at the highest levels. I'm bringing back old school radio promotions, man. And what I want to do is I'm going to give out something every week. I'm going to get out something every week. We're going to get it done every single week. So when you tune in, see, there's a difference between us and them. When you go ahead, you can join us. You could join the club. I'm telling you what, we can get it going. You can hit that QR code if you want to join the Barbershop. But in terms of me feeding the streets, I'm going to give out some merch every single week. And it's going to be premium. And it's going to be quality. We just gave out our Nike shirt today. And we got a winner. We will announce the winner. We're going to let everybody get an opportunity to get in here, but we're going to do that. Also, we are going to give another one away. We're going to announce how you can win a t-shirt. Hey, we're going to give one away every week. So you know what we do over here. Continue to hit that like button. Continue to hit that subscribe button. And let's continue to work. Let me say this. I'm going to tell you this. Last week, the Brendan Sorsby noise, or this week, the Brendan Sorsby noise got crazy. Got crazy out here. And Let me tell you why it got crazy. And let me tell you why I had to get involved. Usually I don't be out here tweeting. Usually I don't be going crazy. Shout out to Auntie Faye. She was like, G Bush out here mad. they got G Bush out here going mad. G Bush is not playing around today. If you didn't catch it, if you're not a person that's on Twitter a lot, let me throw this up here. And I had to go ahead and throw this right up here. And the reason we had to put this on the screen and we had to put people on that Summer Jam stream and the reason we had to put people on blast is because if you don't pop out and show people sometimes, they actually be thinking they can be getting away with this stuff. And I just posed the question because what you have to do is you have to make people tell you that they are compromised. You literally have to put them in a situation to where they have no wiggle room. Let's be clear. And it may not work on everybody, but what starts to happen is you start to see them have to analyze and think, is this correct? Is this right? You got a point right there. He got a point. I seen everybody in the streets justification. I seen everybody moving around saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And I said, okay, well, here's how we're going to play this one. Let me show y'all something. Media paints false narratives about Shedeur Sanders' character on a daily basis. They've been doing it for years since he's been here. Claim he fell in the draft. Now, here's the bait. You see what I'm showing? I'm showing the levels into which people will get out of pocket. I'm showing the levels of the hypocrisy. I'm showing the levels of what people will say they care about and what people actually care about. The interview process. I sat around and heard people for a whole 2 weeks as this thing escalated. I heard people sit around and tell me that the interview process is more important than gambling on your own team. Remember what I talked about. This is an old tactic in corporate America. When you go somewhere, it's an imaginary slippery slope. The imaginary slope is email deadlines are more important than actual production. The way you interact on the golf course is more important than competency. The way you interact and the way you get results in your business practice come farther down the food chain than the optics of whether you fit the description of the culture, whether you fit what the company wants to exude. So this is no different. See, the difference is, the problem is the scorekeeper was taking notes. I wrote everything down you said mentally. I said, okay, so let me get this straight. Okay, well, you told us it was about what? You told us it was about the interviews, not doing certain things, not following through in headphones and backwards hats. But I was waiting for you. I was waiting for it. I knew something was going to happen. Oh, I knew that. I knew y'all was waiting for that. And so when this happens, I waited. I sat and waited, looked around. I said, well, let me see what your energy level going to be. And exactly what I thought it was going to be. Indifferent, excuses, goalposts moving, extra, but just backpedaling. It's not that I would take them in a heartbeat. I was not. And the second thing I sat back and watched you do as I sipped my coffee, I sat back and you exposed yourselves. You exposed the two things that G. Bush has consistently spoken about on a consistent basis since this inception of the barbershop. What I told you, you guys do a lot and get it done specifically, is you won't watch not one lick of film and you go based on what the consensus in your community is. You've never seen Brendan Sorsby. You've never watched Brendan Sorsby. You didn't watch him at Indiana. You didn't watch him in Cincinnati. You wasn't going to watch him in Texas Tech. And what you told on yourself was, oh my gosh, Brendan Sorsby is going to be great. Brendan Sorsby is going to be awesome. He's a first round pick. Right now, I talked to this person. They said he would have probably been a first round. Let me tell you why you're lying. Because this was a weak quarterback draft. Ty Simpson and Mendoza were the only quarterbacks that won in this draft. Simpson was actually overdrafted, but Dante Moore went back to school. Arch Manning went back to school. Lenora Sellers went back to school. And if those guys went back to school, right? Why would you, if you were a first round pick, why would you even be fighting and battling Texas Tech? If you was that good, you would have been on the first thing smoking or in this draft class. Let me ask you a question. And this is why the scorekeeper had to come out and tell y'all this. This is why I had to put this out here so we can put it in a mix to let you know exactly what it was. If you was that nice, that cold, that's just nice in general, boy, you done been at 3 schools. And when you was at Cincinnati, you wasn't doing nothing anyway. You wasn't putting no numbers up like that. I went back and watched the whole game you played against Colorado, and they didn't even have no good defense. I couldn't even get after the quarterback, and you didn't do nothing that game. But the trick is, it's revisionist history. Sorsby is super nice. No, he's not. And you didn't watch him. You didn't see him. You didn't even take a look, and none of that. He was never nice. You know what he was? He was another option. He wasn't never nice. You know what he was? He was just another option. A long line of people you can use as a pawn in order to try to justify what you wanted to do, which is get you another quarterback that you like and identify with. Now, what I had to do right here is I had to open it up to the public. Let me ask you a question we all knew the answer to. If Shedeur bet on his team and was ruled ineligible, would the media advocate drafting him? Absolutely not. We know it. Even the people that don't like him wouldn't. Even the people, no, 91%. 91 whole percent. And let me ask you guys, you call everybody cult members over who think Shedeur can play. Some people would argue you're kind of fanatical because you be using people as crash test dummies. Anybody with a name, you say, come play for us. Come play for us. Are we available? Are you available? Gee, let's take a look at the quarterbacks that you keep continually clamor for. Oh, here we go. It took me a while. Shout out to Rosie. It took Rosie a long time to come up with this. Well, starting with the 2026 class, which you told her the quarterbacks in 26, and it turned out to be a weak class because you didn't watch those guys either. You notice a theme? A bunch of people who never watch anything that just go around and tell each other rumors and then say it. K. Klubnik, they had him mocked at the Browns. Garrett Nussmeier mocked. Drew Aller, he's from here. Ty Simpson. Arch Manning went back to school. Dante Moore went back to school. We could keep it going. Let me see. Geno Smith. Geno Smith is available. Malik Willis, we need to trade for him. Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray. Hey, Russell Wilson is available. Kirk Cousins. Oh, meanwhile, your head football coach, who has come to speak to you 2 to 3 times, 4 to 5 times, your general manager who sat in front of you and giving you an article to read. You guys ask them questions and then ignore what they actually tell you. Well, here's what we're going to do. I did a little digging, guys. I did a little digging. And let me tell you something. The game is switching up a little bit. Exhibit A. Let me show. Shout out to my man.
In the building.
Big Snacks is in the building. Big Snacks is in the building. And make sure you go check out Big Snacks. Man, Big Snacks be having me cracking up, bro. He be having me cracking up. And by the way, Big Snacks, your graphics game is on another level right now. Have you leveled up, Snacks? Snacks, have you leveled up? I like this midnight blue. Keep talking.
Told me, he said, I had him earmarked as a starting quarterback. Not a great one, but a starting quarterback. And I think they've had back-to-back-to-back good drafts. What do you make on the stories of Andrew Berry coming out publicly and saying, Shadur looks really good in OTAs? That was echoed by another exec I talked to last night because I asked him about Sorsby and Shadur, and they're all like, he got underdrafted in the 5th. He's not a 5th-round player. He's closer to a 2nd or a 3rd. What do you make of the Shadur story? Also, remember this, Albert. He beat Brady most merchandise sold ever. There's a Tebow quality here. If he goes on a 2-game winning streak, you know what the Tebow thing was like. That's hard to get off of.
I mean, I think it's going to be a real competition.
What I tell you, see, y'all better stop playing around with G. Bush. I was the first one to tell you. I heard from folks up in that building when they were saying Deshaun Watson was leading by a landslide. Shedeur Sanders, he looking real good in this offseason. Way better than the media is giving him credit for. When I was reaching out to folks, why you think I told you? When this thing went to the fall camp, that told you something. Shedeur not only was not close, he's actually in the lead. And I've been telling you, if you've been listening to G. Bush from Jump Street, if it's a rookie versus a veteran, and that thing is close, I've been told it is more than close. When they talk about Shedeur Sanders, all of the traits that they said they wanted him to work on in the offseason, which he has stayed and done, has been greatly improved. Greatly. So when Colin Cowherd, I told y'all, see, this is the problem. When the national media is only going to tell you and then the local will follow. But when you've been listening to G. Bush, and I've been telling you, I've been saying, let me show you. Let me tell you what. The footwork, getting rid of the ball quicker, understanding where it's going. And and by the way, let me know if anybody saw it. See, Shedeur just went back to Colorado and was in the quarterback rooms talking with the quarterbacks, mentioning what he's learned. How he, don't act like he learned anything. He been nice like that. When I talked to Coach Prime, he said he's been calling audibles and calling plays at the line since he was 12. He was this high. You saw the way he was talking with conviction. Let me put one in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. That conviction comes from a level of understanding the game and been knowing the game. See, what you don't understand is he's walking in a different type environment and aura right now because he going head to head with somebody and he couldn't get him up out of there. You done took your best shot. You done took your best shot, and you should have got me up out of here when they was telling you that you was the first team quarterback. but that's the way competition works. Snacks keep cooking. Come on. Hey, Albert Breer, answer the man. Answer him. Colin Cowherd done heard everything. He hearing the same things I've been hearing the last 2 days. Scorekeeper.
I think Deshaun Watson has a shot to win it. And I think one thing that both those guys have going for them at the quarterback position is Todd Monkin, like dig into his history a little bit. He has won and been a part of offenses with lots of different types of quarterbacks. He was with David Garrard in Jacksonville all the way back when he got in the NFL for the first time. He was with Brandon Weeden at Oklahoma State. You know, after that with the Buccaneers with Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston. He was at Southern Miss as the head coach. Nick Mullins, who you'll remember from the Niners, was the quarterback there. Stetson Bennett at Georgia. Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. So it's all these different types of quarterbacks, which should tell you whatever Deshaun Watson does well, whatever Shedeur Sanders does well, Todd Monkin has it in his bag to help that kid out. You know?
Well, you could have just listened to G. Bush when we was breaking it down about what his offense is going to look like in the formations and how the motion and what he likes to do in the scheme. But if you forgot, don't worry about it. If you forgot, G. Bush should get you together today because I'm going to show you 5-6 plays that Todd Monkin's going to eat with Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to show you an aspect of this game plan that he's absolutely going to crush. Because the problem is you thought, and you knew this, you guys understood what Todd Monkin has the ability to do in his offenses. And you know them quarterbacks ain't going to come out here looking bad. Gee, you shouldn't even speak on the Sorsby dude. Here's why you shouldn't speak on the Sorsby's dude. It's a waste of time. Nope. Here's the thing. And I'm going to explain this too after we get to this. Here's why you need after a while, you got to speak on it. Because what'll happen is if you lay low on it, the crescendo gets bigger. And there's some people out here that won't have enough moxie to go search out things for themselves. So they stay in an echo chamber. And that reinforces negative things. Now, I was going to let you get that off a couple of weeks ago when we was talking about it. But as people started to just move the post and keep moving it to, we need to trade a first-round pick. No, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. You're doing way too much now. Let's keep it rolling.
No, and so look, I think that Monkin's going to be able to maximize whoever's playing at quarterback. You know, and then I think it's what you said, which is it's all the young draft picks coming together around whoever the quarterback is. And so, you know, can Quinshon Judkins be the bell cow in his second year as a pro? Is Harold Fannin going to take another step at tight end? And then the rookie, Spencer Fano at left tackle, Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston at receiver. I really like what they've done in the draft. And the guys on the defensive side of the ball certainly look like difference makers too. Mason Graham, Carson Swesson.
Notice, I told you, you notice the way they got the rephrase. See, the rephrasing is happening, the repackaging and the remarketing, the marketing is happening right in front of your face. Because once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Once you see it, you can't imagine it never happened. This is exactly why you have the open competition. It's exactly why you say that. Because what it does, it puts people on notice. It shuts your narrative down. And if you're hearing as definitive as I'm hearing about the way he looks better and how he's been great and how all he does is go work, the stories about, think about this. They done made y'all out yourself 3-4 times. You was mad at the beginning of preseason or OTAs when you thought Prime was going to go talk to him. Guess what? Prime ain't even stepped place nowhere. And they just showed you how quickly you ready to get your outrage badge up. They showed you in real time how fraudulent your outrage badge is. Because turned out Dabo Sweeney came a week later and nobody had nothing to say. The same way nobody here cares about backwards hats. So that's one of the reasons you got to give it. Now watch this. This is a graphic. Somebody had to create this graphic. Talk to him, scorekeeper. Somebody at the Herd created this graphic. Brown's notable young talent. Prior to OTAs and minicamp, Shedeur Sanders' name would have never been on that list. Shedeur Sanders, in terms of the national media and the local media, has never been considered part of the core. It's factual. Everything about Shedeur Sanders is we're going to give him a chance, but he's on the outside looking in. Everything that we've talked about him is the outside looking in, trying to push. Now, all of a sudden, Quinshawn Judkins, Harold Fannin, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Spencer Final. We traded for Jared Verse, Carson Schwester, Mason Graham, Emmanuel McNair-Warren. All of a sudden, we are now morphing into what we need to transition and pivot. Because now there's a real chance that this dude might actually be one of them. He might actually have a chance here. And we're going to tell you coming up later why that may be. Now, shout out to Big Snacks. Snacks is crazy. Snacks be doing it. Let me see this. What we got going on? I just seen this video. Pop up the other day. I thought they did a really good job of encompassing. Shout out my guy Earl the Pearl. We was going back and forth on this one. But this is the reason why I'm going to tell you why you got to dead some of this stuff. Here we go. And was ruled ineligible at Colorado.
This business of sports, right? Like my whole take is about Brendan Sorsby. My man got a gambling addiction.
G. Bush just destroyed the entire Cleveland media with one question. The same media that buried Shadur Sanders over bad interviews, over he needed to be humbled, over his father cost him millions, is now fake clamoring for a quarterback named Brendan Sorsby. The catch? Sorsby was ruled ineligible by the NCAA for gambling, the one thing every professional sports league refuses to forgive. And G. Bush asked the question that exposed the entire agenda. If Shedeur bet on his team and was ruled ineligible at Colorado, would the media advocate drafting him? Hell no. 91% say no. Gambling addiction gets a free pass. Bad interviews get a fifth-round slide. Only when it's Shedeur. Here's every word. Here is the full Brendan Sorsby situation and why the Cleveland media's sudden interest in him exposes the most insane double standard of the entire Shedeur Sanders saga. Brendan Sorsby is a Texas Tech quarterback. The NCAA ruled him ineligible because he gambled on games involving his former team, the Indiana Hoosiers, while he was redshirting. Gambling on football, the single most unforgivable offense in professional sports. And in June 2026, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that Sorsby is applying for the NFL supplemental draft. Suddenly, the same Cleveland media members who spent a year destroying Shedeur began clamoring for the Browns to bid on a quarterback with an admitted gambling problem. G. Bush named exactly what that reveals. A lot of people ain't never heard of Brendan Sorsby a day in their life before this. He was never a dude we were mentioning as a top quarterback in 2027. But all of a sudden, this urgency to get Brendan Sorsby. Gambling, the one offense the NFL, the NBA, and MLB will not tolerate. G. Bush explained why. All these private entities, the one thing none of them play about is gambling, because it puts a stain on their name. And when you stain their name, you stain their pocket. Domestic violence gets a suspension. Gambling gets you blacklisted. And the Cleveland media is fake clamoring for a gambling ineligible quarterback over Shedeur, purely because they dislike Shedeur that much. And here is the hypocrisy receipt that makes the agenda undeniable. Earl the Pearl laid it out. The same people pushing this narrative that the Browns should entertain Brendan Sorsby because the quarterback situation isn't solved are the same people who chastised Andrew Berry every single time he traded for, signed, or drafted a player with character issues. So now, all of a sudden, because you don't like the quarterbacks in this room that much, all of that goes out the window? Now you're willing to compromise your own moral code? The media built their entire brand on criticizing Barry for character risk players, and the moment a gambling ineligible quarterback becomes available, they abandon that standard instantly. Because the standard was never about character, it was about Shedeur. They chastised Barry for character issue players for years. Now they're begging him to bid on a gambling addict. The standard reversed the instant it could be used against Shedeur. That is not a moral code. That is an agenda with a moral code costume.
I didn't create this. Shout out to the viewer. I didn't create this. I just, it was brought to my attention. But there I go right there. Look at me. A lot of people ain't never heard of Brendan Sorsby a day in their life before he was up for what it was.
Fact. That's a fact.
Let's go ahead and just call a spade a spade.
And if we keep it in Mo 100, bro, for everybody making it seem like he was going to be one of these top quarterbacks coming out of next year's class, he was never a dude that we was mentioning as the 4 or 5 quarterbacks in 2027.
Never.
So now all of a sudden, like this urgency to get Brendan Sorsby, like I didn't heard everything. If you take the last name off the back of the jersey, he better than Arch Manning, which you can cut that out right now. I didn't see Arch Manning play. Okay, like that's
literally, if
like,
Arch was arching, he would have been out in this draft. And they keep telling me, all these people that keep going back, if you was that nice, why are you fighting to go back to Texas Tech if you was a first-round pick? I'm confused by that. Second of all, you can't tell me, when you ask them, you pull up some stats, you be like, well, listen, I actually watched him play against Colorado, and he was nothing special. Third of all, why every time we ask you if you got an opinion on the quarterback, you always referencing somebody else that you trust and know? Listen, I don't trust and know nobody. I trust and know a lot of people, but guess what? Tyvis and Earl got to show up and prove every single week. Every single time you ask a person, what did you see him play? No. Well, what were you doing on the weekends? You only watch Ohio State? What are you doing? You going to track meets? What are you doing? What do you do? Listen, it's
you outside touching grass? Now you know damn well you're supposed to be on top of everything.
It's too many people in this industry that's posing. You're posing. You're not watching games. You're not breaking no film down. You're not even really that educated on these prospects. And every year, you just, this is laziness. I ain't gonna watch the games because I'm way too important. My opinion counts, but I'll text the dude. He'll tell me whether he's 3rd or 4th round. We ain't doing that. It's just crazy to me.
That's disrespect to the craft.
So this is just, we had to throw it out there. I just wanted to see. I didn't create that. Shout out to them. Make sure you go check out the podcast. They be doing recaps and everything. You must speak on it. If the source be nonsense to make them justify the reason he should be even in the NFL. Always combat false narratives to smolder fallacy and hypocrisy. And guess what? I love what you just said right there. Love what you said right there. Because I think Ken Carman did a great job of really forcing this conversation. Ken, he said, hold on, G. Bush, you might got something right here. Now watch this. Now, again, my job is not to, look, my job in this game is to parse, to take, and to dissect. Now, the reason we're talking about this is you must make people juxtapose what they say they care about versus what they ignore. All right, you got this, right? So everybody, come on back. 1,500 people in here. Hit the like button. What we need to understand is, the trolls. Hey, listen, don't get caught up in the trolls. That's a distraction. Hey, listen, trolls, put the coffee down real quick and tune in. Put the coffee down and tune in. I got something for you today. Got something. I want you to justify it. So we've already established you can't say he was a first-round pick. Nobody called him a first-round pick at all. So don't say, well, we know that people with more talent always get the benefit of the doubt. He's not one of those. That is the reason you automatically shifted and made up in your mind. So you knew when people are being dishonest, they know what they're doing. That's why they always got to back it up to start with. To even get this off, they have to presume and present Sorsby as if this is some can't miss prospect. No, it's not. Second, after they say he's a can't miss prospect, they diminish what your guys are in the quarterback room so you can say, we need to do whatever we can to get this blue chips prospect. And then when you say, okay, well, how is it that you seem to be so laxed on this? Why is it that happened over here with Shedeur, or whatever the case be? Oh, well, we don't know why. Watch this. Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Please pay attention.
Well, we'll never know why he dropped so much. I mean, I think I know why. I think they mangled the draft process. I think they thought that there was a higher feeling about where he could go. He had a better evaluation, and they decided to go their own way, which some guys can do. Some guys can get away with it.
Yeah.
Why? I think they mangled the draft process. I think they took.
He cares about the draft process. They care about interview processes for other teams that have no bearing on the Browns. Anonymous people you've never even, nobody came and told you something. This is what you care about, right? This is what you care about. And notice, some people can get away with it and some people can't. Well, I'm glad you admitted that.
They thought that there was a higher feeling about where he could go. He had a better evaluation, and they decided to go their own way, which some guys can do. Some guys can get away with it.
Yeah.
He could not, and they misjudged what the market was, and they didn't think they had to do all the meetings. They didn't think they had to put together whatever, one-on-ones or answer certain questions.
You didn't jump through the hoops we told you to. You didn't bow down and kiss our boots. You didn't walk the way we wanted to, talk the same way we wanted to. You overstepped your worth. You didn't know what you was worth on an open market. Okay. Continue.
And so they unfortunately for them and his camp, they got into a bad spot. He got dropped to the 5th. Now, with that said, him getting dropped to the 5th for all the victim stuff.
Now he's posing it as him calling himself a victim for all the victim stuff. No, you mean for all people calling out what it actually is? Continue.
That I hear from them. He also got 7 starts last year when he was the 4th string on a terrible football.
I could also say Dylan Gabriel got 6 starts when he shouldn't even been drafted where he was. Just saying.
Team. That's amazing.
That is there.
Most 5th-round picks do not get 7 starts and don't get that opportunity.
But let me tell you how I see it, too, because you mentioned mangled the draft process. What's worse than mangling a draft process? Some bad interviews with some guys, allegedly, or, I don't know, making a whole bunch of bets, having to go to
What? Talk to him, Ken. Oh, you get it now. Oh, see, this is all part of it, right? Right? This is part of why you say, G. Bush, why do you have to frame it that way? Why do you have to pose it that way? Just let him go. No, because if I would have just let it go, nobody would have had to come back and sit and say, well, hold on, maybe this is wild work. Let me just sit back and tell me how this actually sounds. Because Ken just hit on it. Which is worse? Alleged bad interviews or somebody going to rehab being kicked and banished out of college football because he bet thousands of times on his own team. Things that you've condemned people in Cleveland for just 2 months ago. Talk to him, Ken. Let's go.
String on a terrible football team. That's amazing.
That is there.
Most 5th-round picks do not get 7 starts and don't get that opportunity.
But let me tell you how I see it, too, because you mentioned mangled the draft process. What's worse than mangling a draft process? Some bad interviews with some guys, allegedly, or, I don't know, making a whole bunch of bets, having to go to admit to having a problem, having to go to rehab over it, and we don't even know whether or not he means it or not. I mean, you brought that up an hour ago.
Yeah.
and then having your agent go on the radio, say all these things that makes people not like you more. Oh, by the way, also having the entirety of college football go after you and the school you're planning to play for. I don't know. Having to go to court over whether or not you can play in that final year. Also, facing suspension, whether it be in college football, whether it be in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders, I don't believe, has been suspended at either level. So what to me is worse when it comes to mangling the process?
Well,
Mic drop. It feels more definitive. It feels more definitive. G. Bush, I've seen several topics about Sorsby on UCSS. I never saw y'all mention that he played against Shedeur in college and got smoked. Why is that, bro? We done talked about that 100 times. I've talked about that countless times. I've watched his. See, here's what they do. Let me just tell you something. Let me take this down a little bit. Take this down. Shout out to Ken. Here's what they do. You got to realize that this is follow the bouncing ball. And where they get you is when you say something, they bounce the ball to another place. They'll say, well, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, head to head. It doesn't mean anything head to head. I mean, that's just, that doesn't mean anything. Like stats in college don't mean anything. Okay. But they use stats to disqualify you. They use stats to say you're the worst quarterback that ever played. Like statistically, EPA is the worst quarterback. But when you say, well, okay, well, he threw for 365, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and he threw for more yards than, well, stats don't really tell the you can't let them continue to bounce the ball. We all understand. I saw the game. I watched the game in real life. I understand what the stats are. But the reality of the situation is that don't hit tough. Because they'll just move it somewhere else. Oh, the stats, that don't matter. You can't judge them on that. So what I do is I judge them on this. Right? I judge them on this. Well, okay, if Shedeur Sanders did what he did, how would you feel about it? They didn't answer that question. Nobody answered that question. You got to make them declare. It ain't about the stats. Because and we talked about it in that video. It is not about the numbers and whether somebody can play or not. It's about how I'm going to do whatever I feel like that I need to do to erase this and to elevate this. And it don't even have nothing to do with Sorsby. That's the problem. Sorsby is getting the same attention that Dillon Gabriel got. He's getting same elevation. Now that Dillon Gabriel is obviously he's not in the starting position, they came back and said, you guys need to cut him. We need to just move on from Dillon Gabriel. See how it works? See how it works? Here's what I got, though. Speaking of what works, here we go. We want to congratulate Edward Ware has become the official winner of the Barbershop Nike Legend t-shirt giveaway. He used the word final cut. Edward will receive this Nike T Legend. All right, this is where legends are made of. This Legends T is built for sustainable recycled polyester and powered by dry fit technology. So you'll get peak performance with it, lower environmental impact, and guess what? It's durable as heck. It is heat resistant. It gives you that nice, cool, crisp feel. And this is quality. You wash it 100 times, it ain't gonna fade on you. And all he had to do was do this. All he had to do was hit us up and join. And by the way, we'll give you another opportunity to win right now. If you want to be like Edward and you want to win a barbershop giveaway, well, here you go. Scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner. And you know what we're going to do? Scan the QR code. And I'm going to give you the code word. I'm going to give you the code word. The code word is cook, because that's what we doing this morning, cooking. Code word cook. Scan the QR code, fill out the questionnaire, use the code word cook, and you too can win a Nike Barbershop t-shirt exclusively from Fifth Dimension Media. And by the way, we will be giving the winner out every Saturday. So you still got some time. We'll actually run this again on the final cut. We'll run it again, come up tomorrow on the matter of fact, make sure you watch your top five. Top five tomorrow, 2 p.m. My dad's pulling up for Father's Day. Make sure you got it. Scan the QR code. But shout out to Edward Ware. Congratulations, the official winner of the Barbershop Nike T Legend giveaway. Edward, we will be reaching out to you via email. We'll get your shirt size and we'll be shipping that right to your door. We appreciate you guys and thank you so much. Now, let's get to this. As I take this now. I also have, because what I'm going to get, hold tight. I'm going to get to something. See, sometimes it's just not about pointing out the levels of hypocrisy or whatever. Receipts are part of life. But you also need to be able to educate the people. So the haters will tell you, oh, man, just worried about what's going on with Shadur Sanders. No. Albert Breer said something earlier. He talked about with Stefanski, or not even Stefanski. I don't even want to mention him. He talked about what Todd Monkin was able to do with quarterbacks. I don't just tell you why I'm excited. I don't just tell you I'm excited because, oh, I like Shadur Sanders. I'm a football player. I can like you and be cool. That ain't got nothing to do with it. The premise is the dude can play. And the premise is Coach Monkin is going to do some things that's going to accentuate that. I'm going to get to the playbook and we're going to talk about why these things are important, why they're important. But first and foremost, we actually have to get to this. Here we go. Let me throw this out here too. I got a poll question. I'm gonna start. Got a poll question. I'm gonna throw out here. I've been digging around, right? Is Shadur Sanders currently leading the Browns quarterback competition? You could type a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat to vote. We got poll questions now too. You could put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat for yes, no, too early to tell, depends on the preseason games. What are your thoughts? Right now, that poll question is live. Make sure you go check it out. You can use that 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the live chat, and we'll come back and tell you exactly what we got with that poll question, right? Make sure you'll go ahead and hit that in right now. Let's keep it pushing. I want to do this too quickly because I want to show something. Got some good news. I didn't tell nobody because sometimes you just don't know. So this is me. If you see my Instagram profile, man, your face was fat back then. I won an Emmy Award 2 years ago. I think it's 2.5. It might be 2.5 years ago. Won an Emmy Award 2 years ago. And you can see, it was for my content on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And, you know, for me, that was very, it meant a lot to me because it was the first time, that I was acknowledged nationally, right? Acknowledged nationally in terms of what I was good at, right? A lot of times when you do something in life, you do stuff your whole life and you may never get acknowledged. Sometimes you may grind and continue to just put on and you may never, ever win nothing. And sometimes when my content, you know, the way I talk, the way I do certain things, sometimes I tell myself, all I got to do, if God is happy with what I'm saying and the people respect what I'm doing, I don't never got to win no awards because I'm about doing what that is. And I understand this ain't for everybody. That's what the barbershop is. They said it ain't for everybody. But I'm thankful for God for giving me that opportunity and for blessing me and putting me in a position. So that Emmy meant a lot. But let me just tell you something. Let me tell you something. This Emmy, this one means more. We are nominated. We are nominated for second Emmy. One time is a fluke. You might have got lucky. You don't mess with it twice. I'm excited about this because, we are nominated. And I didn't know we was going to get nominated. But why this is special to me? Why this is special to me was you see what we got nominated for. Browns versus Raiders preview. Now, something happened in the industry. Something happened around that time. I remember, Shedeur had played. Against the Baltimore Ravens. And a lot of people in the game said, if Shedeur don't play well today, he ain't never going to get another job, never get another throw, he's not going. And then Dillon Gabriel. Kevin Stefanski was asked, is Dillon Gabriel going to get an opportunity? Is he going to be the starter? He said, yes. He breaks concussion protocol. If he passes concussion protocol, he's the starter. He's the starter. But somebody named G. Bush, we had other thoughts. And I said, not only the opportunity he was going to get, because we said he was going to get a shot in the opportunity. And I said, well, God for you, he can't do nothing with you with it. It is what it is. It's already written. And he came out and did something that no other quarterback had done since the 90s, win their first game on the road at that, right? Okay? On the road. So I love this because little did I know that fiery debate, that fiery conversation, all of the time when you're arguing, the turmoil, the back and forth, it get contentious. Can he play? Can he play? Last year, it was a lot of stuff going on. We was all ready to go, and people was tuning in every day to see if we gonna cook. Well, lo and behold, it seems like the Academy respected the cooking. Shout out to McNuggets. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Director Steve. Because you know what? They set it up. They set me up. They set it up. They up for an award, Emmy as well. Because if they would have never had that topic, we couldn't have cooked like we did. But that Browns Raiders preview, we cooked. And we cooked at a high level. So much that we are nominated. We are nominated for a second Emmy Award. The award show will be on June 27th, next Saturday. Matter of fact, I've been actually shooting the behind the scenes of the Emmy Awards. We will be there. Rosie will be there. My mom will be there. My dad will be there. So we got videos coming for this. I'm not going to tell you if we won or not until we go. And even if we don't win, I'm just blessed to be nominated, and especially for the spicy nature that we be talking. So with that being said, I want to thank you because this goes to show you, for every single person out there, for every single person who tell you can't speak your mind, you can't be truthful, you can't stand on business, you can't go from the couch to being on TV, they done lied to you. This nomination means what God got for you. It don't matter. Every single person may not agree with G. Bush's opinion. Every single person may not agree how we moving. But just know, we're going to consistently stand on business. And you can stand on business and be awarded. This is for everybody in the chat. This is for the barbershop community. And we want to thank y'all for standing with us. as we continue to cook. Listen, hey, man, you might not like it, man, but so what? I told the haters I had something for them. I told you I had something for you. R. Anderson said, "Man, my trophy is downstairs. Like the trophy is downstairs in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's in the studio. So let's get to this. Hey, man, G. Bush was Oprah Winfrey big back in the day. Man, I was kind of, you know what I'm saying? We was kind of big. Let me see what that poll question say. Is Shadur Sanders currently leading the Browns quarterback competition? 92%. 92%. Independent media podcast for the urban culture is what's needed in 2026. We salute all the truth seekers. NFL Hall of Fame Terrell Owens was destroyed by old media with all them lies back in the day. Absolutely. G, you need I like them all under the favorite barbershop show. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody, man. We love y'all, man. Matter of fact, if you're new to the table, you get an opportunity over here, bro. We're giving you something. Make sure you go ahead, scan the QR code, become. You actually we got another t-shirt we're giving out next Saturday. So if you're new to the channel, if you're not new to the channel and you're here, that's cool. But if you are, the subscribe is free. All you got to do is scan that QR code right there. Boop. Did somebody say a real Emmy? Huh? What did you say? Did somebody say a real Emmy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we got to put it. See, this is why you actually had to bring the, yeah, there we go right there. Sometimes you got to show them. You show them real quick. You see it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't just know. See, I don't even be broadcasting that. I don't even be broadcasting. I just be trying to tell the truth. Oh, by the way, you can hit the subscribe button right there. And if you want to join the barbershop, hit that right there as well. All right, let's get to this. We done our announcements. We done gave away our t-shirt. We done gave away our t-shirts. We didn't talk about Emmys, but we didn't talk about it. Let's talk about this. I want to let me get to my videos here. I want to get to this. Let me get to this because I truly believe this is the reason why a lot of people is nervous. They be nervous a little bit, right? Because when you watch what Todd Monkin is able to do, it's very interesting. I was on Sports for CLE. Matter of fact, go check that interview out. Sports for CLE, I'm on every Friday. See, I be working. They asked me, what do you think this offense is going to look like? I said, I already know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to show you today. I think Todd Monkin is going to be masterful. The way he creates angles, the way he creates positioning, the way he creates certain things for guys to get open. I'm going to show you a couple of plays the Baltimore Ravens ran in which the creativity is night and day from what they used to do with the Cleveland Browns. But first, let's talk about his resume.
Experience matters in the NFL. Enter Todd Monkin. The Browns' 19th head coach arrives with a resume built across college football's biggest stages in the NFL's most demanding environments. For Todd Monkin, coaching was never a single career choice. It was a family tradition. His father coached, his brother coaches, his cousin coaches. Football wasn't just something discussed on weekends. It was the topic of conversation at the dinner table. Maybe that's why in a Monkin offense, everyone eats. Monkin spent 26 of his 37 coaching seasons in college football. As head coach at Southern Miss, he inherited an 0-12 team and within 2 years innovated their offense to nearly 40 points per game on the way to a division championship. His final collegiate stop was in Athens, Georgia. As offensive coordinator, Monkin led a top 10 offense to the Bulldogs' first title since 1980 and then repeated in 2022. every stop has left first-round talent and trophies in his wake. For Monkin,
the players are the ones that make it come to life. Our job is to put a great plan together, but ultimately they're the ones that make it come to life.
that philosophy translated seamlessly to the NFL. In Tampa Bay, Monkin unlocked Mike Evans to 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 2 of them as a Pro Bowler. During his stint in Cleveland, his system helped Nick Chubb become one of the league's top running backs. And in Baltimore, Monkin took an offense to the upper echelon of the NFL, producing an MVP season from Lamar Jackson, league-best rushing production from Derrick Henry, 12 Pro Bowlers, and 5 All-Pro selections along the way. Now, Coach Monkin returns to Cleveland, proven as a builder, a teacher, and a player's coach.
I'm going to tell you what. This is the reason why when people talk about why you believe that the Cleveland Browns can get these amount of wins and why do you believe this? See, a lot of people don't even understand. Todd Monkin was already in Cleveland. He was already in Cleveland. It's kind of funny that people don't be knowing this. He was already in Cleveland working as the offensive coordinator. However, the coach at the time was the player who was calling plays. So he was relegated to, because you would actually think that this ain't happened before. Nah, Todd Monkin has been here before. And you talk about what our offensive running game was when Nick Chubb was cooking. He's been here while Nick Chubb was cooking. So there's a thing that he does. He not only makes your offensive game better, he does a great job of scheming up front. See, the difference between a lot of people's offensive line, understanding what offensive linemen do is not in the vernacular. It's not in the purview of what regular people usually watch. Most people say they don't even know what linemen do. They're just up there. But there are so many ways that you can create angles for your offensive linemen to block people, to reach people, to out-leverage people. All offensive line schemes is all about leveraging. Think of it as a great tactic, being outflanked. Most battles in antiquity came down to, hey, that was the number one tactic. Hey, we gonna outflank you, right? It's still the same thing. Sometimes you don't need to blow people off the ball. You just need to be in where they need to go. Sometimes you need to just cut them off at the pass. Sometimes you need to reach them. You don't need to be doing all that. And so when you look at Todd Monkin, what his superpower is being able to set things up one time and then run something else off of it. Set something up, give you an expectation level, and then run something that looks just like it, but in another area. Let's talk about that. Let's continue to watch, because these are the reasons when people say, G. Bush, why do you believe that these guys are going to be good? Why can you believe that? Let's talk about it. Let's look at a couple Derrick Henry runs, right? Let's take a look at this one.
Take a look at this. You got 2 receivers split out to the right. Looks like they're getting some man coverage over here from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You've got a big line right here. You got your 5 offensive linemen. You got a big tight end right here. And you've got Patrick Ricard, who motions into kind of that offset I formation on the strong side of the formation.
Notice, this is why it's key. This is why when I keep trying to tell y'all, there ain't no stupid quarterbacks that's in Todd Monkin's playbooks. There ain't no stupid quarterbacks that start for Todd Monkin. When you say they don't know what's going on, what you're doing, how to move guys, it's so many moves prior to snapping the football. You got to have a mastery level of where everybody is at. The tight ends, the offensive lines, all this stuff. Well, they don't know.
Linebackers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they move over as well. But it's just well executed, good physical football. Lamar says, all right, we're good. Can, here we go. They still don't change anything on the down lineman. So the down lineman, you have a gap here in the A gap. Then you got out here lined up with the tackle, and you got somebody in a wide 9. On this side, you only have the 1-2. You have a defensive back here. Now the linebackers, they shift over, but watch as the action unfolds. Lamar says, we're good to go. because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on this side. You're going to get, obviously, your center moving over there as well, Linderbaum. So here we go. So it's kind of a move this way. We're going to get a double team here. Makari, I don't know if he could kick out, go around it, but he's going to go get to that next level, and Ricard is going to get here. So what you're going to have is double, and now we've got this lane.
Seal.
Look at this wall by the offensive.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? It's all about creating leverage and angles. It's not necessarily did we just drive you off the football. Look at the lane that is created. You ask how Derrick Henry getting 2,000 yards? Well, let me just show you. It starts how you scheme guys open up front. And a lot of times we always say, now mind you, we talk about it. Now, if this was Cleveland, if this was the Browns and we were talking about the Cleveland Browns, you know what we would do? You know what we would do? We would say Quinshon Judkins is only averaging 2.3 yards per carry. We would say Quinshon Judkins is pretty good, but he didn't average that many yards per carry. Well, actually, can you extrapolate and tell me why he only averaged that yards per carry? It has a lot to do with what you're doing up front. Watch the kick out by the fullback. Watch the seal.
Lines. They all get to the inside shoulder of the guys that they're blocking. Look at it again. Inside shoulder, inside shoulder, inside shoulder. Linderbaum's right there. Makari's going to be able to peel up. Double here. You've got Ricard here. And really the only person that can make this play, because look at them get off of that block. Look at Stanley and Charlie Kohler get off that block. You get off the initial block. They drive him back, get to the second level, seal that off. So this is going to be the only person.
When you talk about yards per carry, you automatically have to discuss and decide and figure out, okay, well, when is he getting contacted? Derrick Henry in this play is going to get 4 to 5 yards before another defender is even contacting him, before he gets touched. So yes, yards per carry is important, but also how much penetration are you getting? How many guys are in the backfield? How many yards are you getting before the first defender contacts you? And a good running scheme and a good running back is going to be able to run and not be contacted while he immediately gets the football. Let's finish this play out. Let me finish this play. Here we go. Oh, dang, I done messed it up. My bad. Here we go. Boom. We'll hear it again.
Inside shoulder. Linderbaum's right there. Makari's going to be able to peel up. Double here. You've got Ricard here. And really the only person that can make this play, because look at them get off of that block. Look at Stanley and Charlie Kohler get off that block. You get off the initial block. They drive him back, get to the second level, seal that off. So this is going to be the only person that can make this play now. That's it. And gone. Look at this wall right here. And then Derrick Henry, all I see, foot in the ground. Whoop! You over pursue.
Now, the running back can't block for himself. The running back, when you're talking about coaching running backs, you got to make a guy miss. If your offensive line is doing their job, it is your job to make the first guy miss. If you make the first guy miss and you got a hat on a hat, you make the first guy miss. Let me take this down so y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. If it's a hat on a hat, and you make the first guy miss, you're off to the races. You're off to the races. That is the difference between a 12-yard gain and a touchdown. And I believe we got a running back that can make a guy miss. Quinshon Judkins to show you that. Watch this play.
Play now. That's it. And gone. Look at this wall right here. And then Derrick Henry, all I see, foot in the ground. Whoop! You over pursued. And he is gone. And look at this. You got an offensive line that's fired up. Look at Linderbaum right here. He wants touchdown. It's not going to be a touchdown. But look at everybody on the sideline. They're fired up. Look, he's dancing with him. How about it? So it's an offense having fun, an offense blocking well. They finally get Derrick Henry down right around by the goal line. But again, using the leverage, using that late motion, and then good fundamentals. And part of why I'm showing this is because the good fundamentals of this line, George Warhop coming with Todd Monkin.
George Warhop, same concept. He came over. This is the type of offense you're going to see. These are the type of the plays that you're going to see. And when we talk about quarterback, guess what makes the quarterback look very good in this? See, now we're inside the red zone. And I just gashed you for 80 yards with Derrick Henry. What do you think we're going to want to run? what do you think they're going to load up on? They're going to pull right back up for the run play, and now we got play action. Now we can run some different things where, guess what? You don't expect it coming. The looks are much easier.
To be the offensive line coach for your Cleveland Browns. But again, you got the leverage right here. 3 guys to the left side on the line, 2 to the right, so they're going to be able to get the double team, blow him off. You get McCarry coming around. He picks up the linebacker. Ricard with the kick out. And it's almost just too easy. And there you see the natural line. Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to overrun it. Derrick Henry gone. Gets a nice block there from Kohler. And that is another big play for the Baltimore Ravens. Good fundamentals, good technique, good execution.
Love it. Love it. Why do you think this offense is going to be good, G. Bush? Why do you feel like it's going to be good, the quarterback? Well, maybe you should be watching the offensive line and the schemes too, bro. That's the difference between me and you. Hey, let's keep it pushing. Give me one more. You got another one? You got something else, G. Bush? Yeah, I got something. Let's cook.
Receivers this time off to the left. You got your tight end Mark Andrews here on a wing.
Notice, new formation. New formation. Hey, look, man. Hey, Nathan is a flip-flopper. I know he's a Browns employee, so he shouldn't even be doing independent interviews speaking about the team. Nah, listen, here's the thing we got to say about this, bro. Film breakdown don't got nothing to do with no emotion. Film breakdown ain't got nothing to do with no emotion. When you diagramming and diagramming what it's going to look like, see, that's a difference. It's a difference between what your opinion is. That's why I'm showing you the plays. It's a difference between what your opinion is and what it's saying right now. That's why it's important to show this. Because I think a lot of times people talk about it. It's like, okay, you flipping on this one, you flipping on that. That's opinion based. And everybody do opinion based content. Everybody ain't going, like, when you get new information, you might flip flop. But the reality of the situation is what I'm trying to show you is right here. I'm trying to show you what the difference is between flip-flopping and doing whatever your opinion is and this concrete information. This concrete right here. We trying to show you and educate you what your Cleveland Browns is going to be running. So the next time they say to you, oh, this person ain't no good, or why you believe that this person going to be good, or why you think you guys are delusional, you can say, well, I'm watching what he said. I'm watching what he talking about.
Got that big fullback Patrick Ricard as you get ready here to go against the Buffalo Bills. And now we're in a pistol formation. So Lamar Jackson pistol, that gives an easy two-way go for the running back. That's why teams like the pistol. You can go right, you can go left. No tells, really. Ball snapped. Again, remember we talked about Lamar Jackson. Watch 57 is going to be held, waiting for the bootleg. And then you get good, just off the ball, downhill. Linderbaum is going to get to the second level. I mean, the block by Ricard right here, this is unbelievable. So this is called a...
Notice, now this play right here. This is a good, they call this a wham play or a trap play. You can call it multiple, wham or trap. Wham or trap. This is called a wham or a trap play. So on this wham play, you're going to have the tight end or your fullback, and you'll see a lot of more fullback sets with the Cleveland Browns coming up this year. You're going to block back. They're going to influence the guy upfield, and you're going to block back to create leverage. This is all about showing how leverage is used in a run game.
Trap block or a wham block. We'll look at it from behind. So what they're going to do here is they're going to let 91 get up the field so that they can get to the second level against the blocks, and Patrick Ricard's actually going to come here and wham block him as Derrick Henry goes. So they allow the penetration.
You can also call this an influence trap. They're inviting or influencing the defensive tackle to get upfield, and then we're going to catch him off guard. Now, in this play, when defensive linemen are let go, think about it. What you want to do is you want to have that guy thinking, oh, we done blew an assignment. Look at you, got a free little run of Lamar Jackson. You're going to be upfield on Lamar J, about to get you a sack. No, you're not. We let you get upfield because now we're going to move and we're going to move to the next level. You out to play. As a defensive lineman, what they want to do is, as a defensive lineman, somebody was doing that to me, the thing that you should feel is, hold on. You got to feel the screen. You got to feel the draw. You have to feel the trap. Know something is up. You've been fighting, scratching, clawing all day to get in the backfield. You think they just let you get in the backfield today? No. And what you want to do is when you feel that, you want to hunker down or retrace your steps. But this is a good concept because you can now block people. It shows you can block people without blocking them. Sometimes the people will take themselves out of the play.
And wham! And you know, he said, oh man, they just let me go. He looks to the side, look at him, watch his head. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's Patrick Ricard coming. So you get right here, Rosengarten gets the block, Linderbaum is able to get to the second level, all because they just let 91 go through. So they actually, look at this. This is really good. So Rosengarten is going to block here. You're going to get the wham block here. The right guard's actually going to come around, and he is going to block here. Linderbaum's going to get to that second level, and he got Mark Andrews out in front of it. So they're going to let him come up, and he's going to get the wham block. Rosengarten here. They're actually going to bring the right guard over. He's going to seal here. Linderbaum goes up top, and then Mark Andrews, he's going to go pick off this safety. And
this is very sophisticated. This is very sophisticated offensive line scheming. Because what it does, it involves, now let me just give you, just to give you an insight to what Todd Monkin thinks about. As an offensive lineman, when you're walking to the line of scrimmage, your blocking assignments change based on what front they're in, based on what the defensive alignment is, right? So now if you look up and they have a guy that's head up on you and you thought he was going to be on your inside shoulder, your blocking scheme changes. So the fact that they have this much movement shows that they've been able to rep this and to have execution with moving targets. The wham block, then the fold block from the guard, fold blocking, and then having Linderbaum get up immediately on the linebacker. The fact that you're going to have Mark Andrews directly to the third level. This is third level. It's not the second level. He's blocking a safety. This is very sophisticated. And this is the way good teams, it's tough because you may be able to, you will blow assignment because there's a lot of moving parts. But if you can consistently execute this stuff, it keeps the defense off kilter.
so really, all it's going to take is Derrick Henry just has to beat the corner on the outside. It's executed so well. So there it is. Block up to the second level, blocked here. Linderbaum's going to get this block. Rosengarten block here. You get the wham block, and now you got Mark Andrews coming up to be the lead blocker. Derrick Henry cuts it right up, and then now he's got that window. Because remember, this corner's thinking, I got to keep outside contained. Because when he gets the ball right here, he's got a two-way go. He can go here, knowing he's got this block, or he can bring it outside and take on the corner.
This is a great block by Mark Andrews. Watch how he hunkers down. Watch how he moves his feet. He doesn't grab. There's a lot of tight ends that would get called for holding right here because they reach their arms out when this corner gives them a move. Corners aren't going to run. They're going to try to make you miss by making moves in the open space. Watch how Mark Andrews moves his feet, hunkers down, and gets low instead of grabbing. This could turn into a big play coming back because you're grabbing. But watch Mark Andrews on this play.
He says, look at this lane. I'm going to go right up in here. But the corner is going to have to respect this and stay wide. So it actually gives him an alley to get up and get out through both of them. Again, very well designed, well executed. And there goes Derrick Henry. And now the Browns, obviously, with Quinshon Judkins. These are some concepts you're going to be seeing Quinshon Judkins use here under Todd Monkin.
I'm letting you know, we setting it up. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see. And you know how you feel about it, right? We done took a look, right? We done took a look at the run game. You say, well, G. Bush, what does it have to do with the pass game? Well, listen, when you so creative in the run game and you're getting gashed, as we saw two different formations, what's the next thing?
Thing that's been a staple of Todd Monkin's passing attacks is that they have a lot of air yards per attempt and thus a lot of yards per attempt and get the ball down the field. But, yeah, we need a total overhaul of this offense, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why Todd Monkin was so appealing to this organization. I think that's been a staple of Todd.
Say it again.
Passing attacks is that they have a lot of air yards per attempt and thus a lot of yards per attempt and get the ball down the field. But yeah, we need a total overhaul of this offense. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why Todd Monkin was so appealing to this organization is because he is a proven offensive coordinator. Now, one of the things.
Yeah. So yeah, look, that's, hey, you throw that back up again? I actually did that too. Yeah. He was, see, that's the thing. When you're doing the film breakdowns or whatever, there's so many things that come across the screen. I wasn't really referencing him. I wasn't referencing him on that. I was talking more along the lines of the film game. So, in the chat, people be going back and forth the whole time. I don't know what y'all be talking about, but it's all good. But no, this is the thing. And one of the reasons why people are so interested in seeing what Shedeur Sanders can do is because he is going to push the ball downfield. He is going to move the ball downfield, right? He is going to make those throws downfield. And that's why it's important to take a look at some of those things. Let's take a look at this. 1,826 people in here. Let's take a look at this. I like this. Shout out to this guy right here. He gives you 5 plays that he likes that Todd Monkin was cooking with.
Top 5 favorite play calls from Todd Monkin this season.
Notice who's this against. Notice who this against. Your Cleveland Browns. You see what I'm saying? See, this is the great thing because we got self-scouting going around. This is Myles Garrett on this field right here. Huh? Watch how he moves and maneuvers with these plays. Watch.
At number 5, I have this red zone TD pass from Lamar Jackson to Tylan Wallace against the Browns. Wallace comes in an insert motion through the C gap and runs a pylon. Play action fake the outside zone and a great pass from Lamar Jackson.
Man, that's tough. He fakes the outside zone, and usually when you got an inward motion and towards the line of scrimmage, that receiver could be cracking down on the defensive end, doing all kind of stuff. He then runs the banana route, back outside, off the play action, touchdown.
Here for the touchdown. This play was set up really nicely earlier in the drive as the Ravens ran trap out of the same formation with that same C-gap insert from Wallace.
Up.
At number 4, I have...
Run it back. Remember what I talked about. The way Todd Monkin runs this system is he's going to run something, and he may run trap out of it. He may run zone out of it. He may run the gap scheme out of it. But he comes back, gives you the same exact options, the same exact formation, same exact motion, same exact. It looks like the same play. But he comes back and runs it completely different. Here we go. Let me show him. Here we go.
Red zone TD pass from Lamar Jackson to Tylan Wallace against the Browns. Wallace comes in an insert motion through the C gap and runs a pylon. Play action fake the outside zone and a great pass from Lamar Jackson here for the touchdown.
Now watch. That was the touchdown. This was the one right before it. This was the one he ran during that drive. And watch what the receiver comes down and does, and Wham blocks him. He blocks this time. Make sure you check this out.
This play was set up really nicely earlier in the drive as the Ravens ran trap out of the same formation with that same C-gap insert from Wallace. At number 4, I have this tackle over fake toss from week 18. So you have a tackle over bunched look. The fake toss gets the linebackers and safety taking run read steps, and they lose Zay Flowers on this through route for a 64-yard touchdown.
Wide open.
Linebackers and safety taking run read steps. At number 4, I have this tackle over fake toss from week 18. So you have a tackle.
That's a tackle right there, boys and girls. That's a tackle. Watch the fake, and watch how the Steelers aggressively count how many people is in the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys close to the line of scrimmage. Watch how they fake the toss and watch how watch this corner at the bottom of the screen. Watch how he almost fall down. Watch this.
Over bunched look. The fake toss gets the linebackers and safety taking.
Oh, look at this man right here. Look at 22. You look like you're doing a Cupid shuffle right now. You look like you got your hands on your knees. Oh my goodness, here we go.
Run read steps, and they lose Zay Flowers on this through route for a 64-yard touchdown. They set that play up the week prior with the same look down.
They set that play up the week prior. They ran something out of that look, showed it. This is the prior week. They showed it against the Packers. Different scenario. Watch this.
Down in the low red area. Same tackle over bunch look, and they run pin and pull toss for a walk-in touch.
So they had bring this back. Bring it back. I need y'all to get this. This is why it's important. Yeah, it's cool to be arguing with folks. It's cool to pull them receipts out. But it's also cool to tell them this is exactly why I think the Cleveland Browns going to get 8 wins. This is exactly why. And if you, my good people, want these levels of breakdowns, we do this after every single game. You're going to get this as part of your membership. And you want to become a member? Hey, listen, matter of fact, scan the QR code. You get this level right here with me and Tyvis Powell after every single game. And it's important because it's things like this. This was a touchdown, but it was set up the previous week. Watch.
The fake toss gets the linebackers and safety taking run read steps, and they lose Zay Flowers on this through route for a 64-yard touchdown. They set that play up the week prior with the same look down in the low red area, same tackle over bunch look, and they run pin and pull toss for a walk-in touchdown.
That's how you layer. That's how you scheme. You got to layer and scheme. See, if we talking battle rap, when you facing a dude like Loaded Lux, you're going to have to deal with schemes, wordplay. You're going to have to deal with punching. You're going to have to deal with bars. You're going to have to deal with presence, stage presence. You're going to have to, come on. He's layering it up on you dudes. He showed the pin and pull the week before against the Packers and then came back and said, oh, you thought you was going to see that on film, Pittsburgh? Yeah, we're going to show you the same formation. So when you jump this little run play, the pin and pull, fake the toss. I see Zay Flowers crossing the formation. Stop playing around with me. I'm not playing.
At number 3, I have this fake jet sweep tunnel screen from week 1 against the Bills. The jet sweep motion gets...
Look how everybody pointing and looking. Look at this number 17 at the top of the screen. Look how they just confused. Listen, the Cleveland Browns had none of this in their playbook because they had a vanilla, non-play calling head coach in Kevin Stefanski that had a high school playbook. You're showing levels to this thing. Bring them in motion, Todd.
Number 3, I have this fake jet sweep tunnel screen from week 1 against the Bills. The jet sweep motion gets all 3 linebackers moving lateral, leaving linemen blocking DBs out on the perimeter.
Touchdown.
Coming in at number 2, I have this GH counter for a walk-in touchdown.
So watch how many. So remember what I told you as a defensive lineman. When somebody is giving you draw or screen, you have to retrace your steps. But it's a difficult look if you've given me more than one false look. He brings the jet motion across. That jet motion freezes all the linebackers. That was one piece of eye candy. Then he goes back from the same side day formation that they brought the jet sweep and throw a screen, a wide receiver tunnel screen to the opposite short side of the field? Come on. Do you know how many false positive that is? And then he get a hat on the hat. Watch this.
At number 3, I have this fake jet sweep tunnel screen from week 1 against the Bills. The jet sweep motion gets all 3 linebackers moving lateral, leaving linemen blocking DBs out on the perimeter.
Look at where all their linebackers are. Look at 7, 8, and 58 all the way over here. There's nobody up to stop this.
Coming in at number 2, I have this GH counter bluff reverse against the Patriots. The guard pulling and the fake handoff gets these linebackers flowing, and Zay gets some great blocks downfield.
That's a Casey Concepcion play. Watch him run the counter. They faked the counter and came back and tossed it in the orbit motion to Zay Flowers, a.k.a. that's the same thing Casey Concepcion gonna get it.
first against the Patriots. The guard pulling and the fake handoff gets these linebackers flowing, and Zay gets some great blocks downfield.
Good block by Isaiah Likely. Down.
Before I get to number one, just a quick reminder to code Cooper NFL to get up to one. Lamar Jackson sprinting out.
Go ahead.
And last but not least, this growing fantasy platform in the world.
I ain't a hater. Hey, man, go check out Cooper NFL for sleeper picks. We appreciate you, Cooper. Make sure you check out and get that $100. We ain't no hater. Come on, man. I like what you did right there. Support independent content. We ain't about to fast forward that. Let's go.
Try daily fantasy picks and use promo code Cooper NFL to get up to $100 match on your first deposit.
There we go.
And last but not least, the fake tush push.
Now, guess what? Guess who this is against? Your Cleveland Browns. Guess who this is against? Your Cleveland Browns. Watch this. This broke our soul. This broke us.
Promo code Cooper NFL to get up to $100 match on your first deposit. And last but not least, the fake tush push, aka Hurricane. What made this play work so well was Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson sprinting out to the backside, which took the Browns' last line of defense out of the play. This was set up perfectly the week prior as the Ravens ran a tall sweep to Lamar out of that same formation. The Giants should consider themselves lucky if they land Todd Monkin, as I believe he's one of the best offensive minds in the game.
Nah, the Giants didn't get him. The Browns got him. Nah, the Giants didn't get him. Watch the setup game. Run it back again. This is why when they ask you, I just want you to download it. 1,812 people in here. This is why you should subscribe to the channel. We don't just give you, oh, we're going to get receipts and argue about Cleveland. We don't care nothing about no Cleveland media, what they talking about. That's cool. You can talk, but we trying to educate. It comes down to the game of football. When they ask you, why do you think the Cleveland Browns can win these many games? These guys aren't that good. You know what they're telling you? Or it comes down to the quarterback. After these dudes sound crazy. Have we talked about anything with quarterbacks in this film work? No. We talked about blocking. We talked about angles. We talked about setting and layering your playbook up. We talked about what you can run, but if you make sure that things look the same. We talked about eye candy. We talked about motion. We talked about running sequences. See, that's the difference. You can get caught up in talking about all of this tabloid stuff, and you forget that the game of football are actually played on a grass field with other grown men ready to get it done. Don't get it twisted. The reason they talk about quarterback so much is because the quarterback is something of a marketing tool. Quarterback is expanded the NFL. The quarterback is the reason, the marketing of the quarterback is the reason the NFL prints money. They took what the NBA did under Magic and Bird and amplified it. They said, man, we can get good versus evil, fast versus slow, rich versus poor, black versus white. They give you a narrative. They figured out that when it exploded with Magic and Bird in the NBA, they said, well, listen, we got quarterbacks. How's about we name something franchise quarterback, something everybody can get around. We don't need to be over the top. We just need to know to get them. Everybody needs to understand what a franchise quarterback is. And it's the same reason that people can justify how you can do whatever you want as long as you try to get a franchise quarterback. But let me just tell you this. On the Barbershop, this year is going to be great. By the way, the schedule didn't already came out. G. Bush is at training camp. G. Bush at training camp. I'm going to be right over there. Y'all come out and see me at training camp. How y'all doing? G. Bush will be right over at training camp. By the way, Final Cut will be at training camp. Earl the Pearl, G. Bush, Tyvis Powell. We will be in the mix. Oh, in the scrums, G. Bush will be there in the scrums. Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good today? Hey, Todd, how you doing? G. Bush is in the building. We're gonna get footage. Hey, let me get that right over there. Let me get that little footage right there. Now maybe take my little things. So just so you know, and then we're gonna give you something, and then I'm gonna come back and get on the sticks right after camp. Look, I told y'all. Listen, they'll be like, man, I didn't know G. Bush was that big. He about 6'5", 270 right now. We in the building. So the content about to kick all the way up. Because when this season, it's going to be a lot of football talk. If you are about football and you want to know the game and you want to understand it, when cats are saying this nonsense, you pull up and understand what we're talking about. Because this is just hit the like button, hit the subscribe. So go ahead. Here we go.
But not least, the fake tush push, aka Hurricane. What made this play work so well was Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson sprinting out to the backside, which took the Browns' last line of defense out of the play. This was set up perfectly the week prior as the Ravens ran a tall sweep to Lamar out of that same formation. The Giants should consider themselves lucky if they land Todd Monkin, as I believe he's one of the best offensive minds in the game.
No. Yeah, they keep talking about them quarterbacks forgetting that run game. I'm here to tell you, bro. It's levels. The thing that's scary is this. The reason that Todd Monkin and a lot of people like myself who think that the Cleveland Browns can be better than people give them credit for is not based. It's not based on, I don't know what kind of stuff they basing it on. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, culture wars. You know, I don't know what it is. But it's no coincidence that the players who lived it, breathed it, ate it, slept it, Bernie Kosar seems to think highly of the Browns, what they can do. We gotta mention Coach Prime, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Drew Bledsoe, Kurt Warner, Brady. I just keep going. I got a list of names of guys that have done it at a high level. Top 10 guys, big time guys. And I continue to come back to the same thing. It's not. Do not let, see, this is the thing. Don't forget about this. Don't forget about this. Oh, yeah, we got draft parties too. We got draft party. We got not draft parties, but we do watch parties too. Every game we're going to do a watch party over here. We're kicking it in high gear on a barbershop. We are the streets. We will feed the streets. Here's the premise that you got to get. Don't let them tell you involved and you like somebody for reasons because you mindless and don't even know what you see. We not no mindless consumers over here. There's one thing that will not be tolerated. If you a listener, I don't care if you listen and you're an antagonist. We don't have sheep. We don't have blind sheep in the barbershop. Anything that we do, we're going to talk about it at a high level, an educational level. Pound for per capita, this the most educated fan base in the game. You got to come over here and bring it. We're going to talk about all disciplines. We're going to break the game down. Don't act like we in some fandom. We're not fans. Listen, we're nobody's fans. The things that we base our knowledge on and base our opinions on is based on factual data. And we're going to show you. We show our work over here. The work is shown over here. It's way too often people say, I'm just going to fall back on my opinion. We show you the work. That's why there's a level of proof. And our fan base holds you accountable to the work. They don't want to just hear what you think. They got to see what you think. They got to have the work. And the work is what we show and base our decisions on. So when people are talking about whether they think the Browns can be good or won't be good, yeah, that sound cute. That sound nice. That sound good in principle. But I need you to show me. Because I not only show you, I not only tell you on multiple platforms, I tell you on Bleacher Report. I tell you on UCSS. I tell you on Cleveland.com. I tell you on Final Cut. I tell you on Top 5. I tell you in the Barbershop in the morning. I tell you in the film reviews. How many more ways and I show you. So I'm completely confused. It's about the game of football. And the thing that's scary to a lot of people, the scary nature is they know the Cleveland Browns got an opportunity in a shot. It's the reason nobody in the locker room blinked. It's the reason Todd Monkin continuously comes out and says, I feel like I got two starting level quarterbacks. You know why? Because he knows what he can bring to the table. He knows what Quinshon Judkins brings to the table. He knows what it is with this offensive line. He knows what kind of offensive line coach and Warhop he brought over here. He knows what schemes he's able to cook up. So for me, again, what excites me most is the football. Not the jerseys or the spikes or, all of the I told you so's or why somebody fell to the 5th round or whether or not you're going to prove somebody. I'm excited about the football. And guess what? If you look and you dialed in and you watch the Cleveland Browns, do they look like they're concerned about anything else? I haven't heard nothing from Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson or nobody else. Todd Monkin them just quietly moved away. We on to the next part of the game plan. Nobody was looking at Brendan Sorsby that aggressively. That was your last-ditch effort to have one more person you can throw in the mix. That's what it was. You thought, you said this is our last opportunity to get our replacement. And you didn't get it done. So here's what I expect. I expect you guys to come to the conclusion between now and whenever camp starts that the quarterback room will be what the quarterback room was when I told you it was going to be the quarterback room 6 to 8 to 12 months ago. When everybody in the industry told me Deshaun Watson was gone and Shedeur Sanders was gone and Dylan Gabriel was going to be gone. Now, after 8 months of swinging and missing on every other quarterback, we are here today with what I told you we will be where we are today. I never wavered. Some people's record is a little tighter than others. Nobody ever wavered. I told you when they said give him the job today, what did I tell you? No. When you said all these, we still here. Still here. With the same thing we talked about 8 months ago. Well, I need you guys to come to the conclusion. It's about time for you to, I don't know what you got to mend some fences. I don't know, you got to talk yourself into it. I don't know what you're going to do. But this was a last-ditch effort. Sorsby ain't coming here. Now you'll pay attention to it because other people said it. But I told you what it was weeks ago. Maybe the Duke and knee-jerk is actually starting to be planted on solid ground. Maybe I'm not so ridiculous and clueless as you once thought. I don't know. We could all be wrong. I don't know. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your tea. Because the scorekeeper is up. 1923 in here. Let's cook. Get to these chats. Matter of fact, if if you listen, I don't know what you're waiting for. You can get down right now. Speaking of, everybody who pulls up that beautiful tee, everybody, I don't know who gives a membership away and everybody gets something. You become a member, you get a t-shirt off bat. You can cancel anytime you want. But let me put this up here, and I'm going to give you the perks before we get to it. Let's get to these perks. I'm doing a bad job out of this. Let me see. Is this me? Is that me? Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Let me scan this and make sure it works for me. Sometimes it don't be working. Oh, that worked. That worked. I think it worked. Let me scan it myself. Look, I put my phone up here. Let me scan it to see, make sure we good. Go ahead. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it worked. Shout out, man. You love the content. If you love the content, here's what we're going to say to you. You can scan it a couple ways. You can join the barbershop at the top left-hand corner. Here's what you actually get. Let's explain it. Sometimes I ain't explaining it good enough, man. You can subscribe on the left-hand part of the screen. Guess what? It's completely free. You get to, when we get our Saturday morning live stream, Final Cut, top five, Daily Browns podcast content. You can subscribe to that, or you could become a member and unlock exclusive benefits, right? One membership, every show, exclusive access. And the big part about what we do over here. Shout out to my brother Tyvis Powell, who will be back. He's back on Final Cut this Wednesday. He's on maternity leave. But the Browns all 22 members only film review with former NFL player Tyvis Powell. Live telestrator, breakdowns, real football education, exclusive film sessions you won't find anywhere. So what do you get? You get a free barbershop t-shirt. You get member priority on our live stream comments. You see the comments down there? We treat our members well. Exclusive membership content, early access to the videos, and behind-the-scenes access, kind of like when we're getting ready to go to the Emmy Awards. So what are you waiting for? Scan to become a member? Or if you're just looking around and you like the content, subscribe. It's free. Let's get to it. Let's go to our super chats. Miss Bell says, happy Father's Day to all the men who have not just fathered a child, but those who have been there for a child. Regardless, your presence is key to this. Shout out to my father. Shout out to my dad, man. It's a privilege, man, to be able to do a show with him. My dad will be back on Top 5 tomorrow. By the way, Top 5, 2 p.m. We're going to give our statistical leaders. We're going to give our statistical leaders for Top 5 of passing. How many yards is Shedeur going to throw for? Or is it Deshaun? Rushing yards and touchdowns. We're going to prognosticate and give you receiving yards and touchdowns. Who's going to lead the Browns in terms of receiving next year? Is it Jerry Jeudy? Is it Denzel Boston? Is it Casey Concepcion? Is it Harold Fanning Jr.? We're going to give you who leads in defensive interceptions and sacks. So we are going to feature. We're going to give you and let you know who we think what those numbers will look like. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. in the studio with Pops. He's back in the building. My brother Bryce and my brother Trent, Top 5, 2 p.m. We appreciate you. Pull on up. And by the way, get another opportunity to win a t-shirt. So if you didn't win today, scan that QR code right there. Use the code word COOK. Scan that QR code. Use the code word COOK. And we'll be giving away another t-shirt. Another opportunity to win tomorrow right here on, you know what it is, Top 5. Let's keep it going. Matt Hamid, that's crazy. I don't even know what that means. We'll just give you shout out to you, my good sir. We'll just call you Mac. Good afternoon from South Africa. We got somebody from the motherland. Thank you so much. We appreciate you pulling up on us. Thank you so much. And love the fact that we saluting from all places in the world. All places in the world. Speaking of, we almost forgot all places in the world. We got to say it. We got to say it. We'll do this. Not only do we get it together locally. We do national. And we forgot to mention this. Bad job out of me. But this episode is sponsored by our good people at Fubo TV. Game day isn't just about the game. It's about who you share it with.
Hey, kickoff's in 2 minutes. Let's go.
With Fubo TV, your favorite teams are always right at home. From football and basketball to soccer and more, you can stream live sports, news, and entertainment all in one place. Miss something? No problem. With Cloud DVR, you won't miss a moment. And with Fubo TV, the game follows you from your living room to wherever life takes you. Because the best plays aren't just on the field. They're right here at home.
Fubo TV.
We'd like to thank Fubo TV for being a sponsor of the Barbershop. Let's keep it pushing. Let's see. What are we doing? Potter's Pub Sports. I dubbed Bon Concepcion in Boston. Run BCB. Think Run DMC and the Warriors trio from Run TMC. I used to watch them. And back in the day, NBA didn't really. I didn't know what the Warriors was because only teams you really saw was the East Coast teams, Bulls, Knicks. You see the 76ers, the Celtics. You really didn't catch nobody on the West Coast. And they was like one of the first teams that I seen Mullen, Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway. They used to wear them. Chris Gatling used to wear them black shoes. Man, shout out to the Warriors back in the day. And the Tamil King, Shedeur, Judkins, and Fannin. Offense explodes, man. Listen, I think Isaiah Bond has had one of the best. I think Isaiah Bond has had one of the best off seasons of anybody. Him and Denzel Boston, especially when you hear Todd Monkin talk about it. Mick Purnell says, anybody but Shedeur is real. Yeah, real hate. See, I told you. Problem with them guys, the problem is this was the last ditch effort. This was right. This was that's why the Hail Mary seemed so crazy. It seemed like they was really going in because it's the last chance. Quarterback competition is going into camp. And like I told you before, they don't really particularly want to see both or any of them play. This was the last legitimate, here's a late challenger. Not. Potter's Pub, mainstream is blindfolded and pulls names out of a hat. Let's just take a name out of the hat and see what sticks. Throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. Come on, man, we better than that. Shedeur has inherited spring confidence. He makes players believe in that. That confidence spreads. Remember what he did for the kicker, Steven Jackson. We appreciate the super chat. Of course I do. And remember what they tried to say earlier than that. When he was talking to the kicker before, when he missed the game, when he kicks 2 kicks and cost us the game against Cincinnati, Shedeur Sanders went up to him and said, it's cool. Don't even worry about that. But then they said he was just trying to be in the camera. Like, what kind of nonsense? Y'all? Then he goes up to him and says, and I remember, he goes up to him and says, hey, this is done. This is awesome. And the thing, somebody remember, then I heard, it's disingenuous. First of all, y'all be stealing words, man. And then this is why we always got to come up with new slang words. You take one word and y'all drive it into the ground. I can't hear disingenuous no more. And I had to tell you, you was disingenuous last year. I was the first person to start that. Now everybody, it's disingenuous. What you mean, bro? We've been saying that. So now it's disingenuous because those last 2 games he won in the division against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati don't count. So hold on. He didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't know the football throws itself. I didn't know the ball throws itself to a receiver. Did the ball by osmosis throw the ball down the field to get the Browns in position to kick a game-winning field goal? I didn't know that. I just didn't know. Come on now. By the way, are you gonna? But he get credit for the losses, though, right? But he don't get credit for the wins. You say it's about statistics, but when you bring up 365 yards, statistics don't. Come on, man. Come on now. Anthony Barnes, Joe Thomas had the worst take ever. But to put your rest narrative about film watching, and oh boy, Jason Lloyd hot as fish grease. Now my source said. Well, look, I don't know what Joe Thomas said. All I do know is I saw him in there watching film. I remember when people were saying he doesn't sit in, when Rex Ryan said sit in the front of the room, and then they circled him in the front of the room 4 or 5 times. He's right there, and right there, and right there. The real Night King, G. Bush to pull up Brandon Sorsby versus Shedeur college stats. I think I memorized them. 2,500 yards. Shedeur Sanders over 4,000. I think that graphic is floating around. 25. He's never been like that's a waste of my energy. You know he ain't been nice like that. He's never been mentioned like that. T. Bush, I've seen several topics about Sorsby on UCSS. I saw y'all mention that he played against Shedeur. Oh, we talked about this, sir. We mentioned that. Torrance, we mentioned that. See, the thing is, they want you to keep mentioning the same thing. You got to go a little tougher at them. They know good and well this man's stats was better than his. They know that. But you got to go harder at him. Ms. Bell says, with tape with a hole in it to eat and drink until the season starts, help Cleveland. No, they're gonna still talk. They're gonna have to find something to talk about between now. It's about 4 more weeks until they start up with some camp, Miss Bell. J Mac, Too Fresh, salute G Bush, double wrist up. You know what it is. 2 of them. Double cup. We know what it is, man. Independent media podcast from the urban culture is what we needed in 2026. We salute all truth seekers. NFL Hall of Famers Terrell Owens, T.O. was destroyed by the old media with all of the lies back in the day. Right now, we are seeing what we call accountability in the game. I love it. I love it. You know what I love it about it? You got to compete. You got to compete. Right now, when you turn that microphone on, you got to compete. It's no longer just because I said so. It's no longer because I did this so long. It's no longer because you've been in the game so many years. Imagine if I used that same rationale. You see what I'm saying? Imagine me, right? When I got in the game, I've been doing this since 2009. 2009 is 2016. That's almost 20 years. Blood, sweat, tears. Interns. I done worked at major publications, small ones. I done all the between. But when I came around, I ain't never not once used I've been in this game so long on nobody on no independent media. Show it to me. I ain't never tried to pull the big homie on nobody. I don't care if you got 5 followers or 5,000. I don't care if you're making $1 million a year and you skip Bayless, or I didn't interview Stephen A. Smith and he making goo gobs of money. I treat everybody the same. I'm gonna treat you with the same level of respect that I treat if I'm gonna go talk to a Stephen A. Smith as if you got 6 followers. I ain't never in my life told you, well, my opinion is elevated because I've been doing it the most. That's a sucker move. I don't do that. I don't do that move. I don't do that. I respect quality. I respect effort. I respect I respect integrity. I respect what you stand on. If you can stand on business and you got good quality, you got 4 followers, I'll be the 5th. But that's the thing. I love it today because now you can be somebody that just wake up one day and have a following. Not because of who you are, it's because of what the work you put in and the integrity that you put out in your content. So I love it. I wouldn't have it no other way. Everybody got to get up and work. Whether you've been here 40 years, 10 years, 5 years, 6 days, everybody got to put in work. You better turn that camera on. you better get your blogs together, dog. Ms. Duke, one of me, says, morning G Breezy, the godfather of hashtag New Cleveland. We appreciate you. I'm just trying to do my small part. We're just trying to elevate. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to elevate the game, elevate the voices. And y'all doing a good job of it. Because y'all keep. I'm saying, you know what I love to? I don't want to get too far into it. You know, it's 1,800 people in here. I don't want to go too far off. But I'm loving. I'm seeing the elevation. I'm seeing the way people is coming up with their editing skills. I'm showing people's intros getting better. I'm showing people that's coming with teases. I just talked about Big Snacks. I'm seeing the elevation of the graphics. I'm starting to see that there's so many people in independent media. They're more eloquent. They putting the work in, right? They diversifying their content. I'm just happy to see it, man. People is developing their own personalities. You know what I'm saying? People doing members only now. I love seeing the growth and elevation, man. I be watching, and every time I be seeing all y'all, I'm like, dang, that's fire right there. That's fire. I like that. I'm watching y'all. I'm watching. I love the energy because you're evolving. You're evolving. Even if you're talking about receipts, you find an interesting way to go about it. You're starting to dive and dip into different bags and different places, man. I'm seeing y'all out there, man. I'm saluting. I love it. Bianca said Lyman's jealous of Shedeur and is also obsessed with him. Everything he mentions in Shedeur is personal, and he's clearly insecure. I think he has more. See, I'm going to tell you, for a lot of people, I think it doesn't even have anything to do with Shedeur. It boils down to you guys. We talk about the people. A lot of times, they don't got nothing to do with Shedeur. Like, I think people, it's to a point where people will willingly admit, Shedeur ain't did nothing to nobody. He don't even talk that much. Every time you see him, he's positive. He's talking about his team. It's painfully obvious that you don't have a problem with him. You have a problem with his fan base. And the problem you have with his fan base is because they wouldn't let it slide. In the word of the Clips, every stringer bell needs an Avon that won't sweep it under the rug. You see, when you watch The Wire, Stringer Bell, the number 2 in the Barksdale organization, is out running the organization, and Avon goes into jail. During that time period, Avon believes that Stringer Bell is operating with the same fierceness as he did. He wants his corners. But Stringer Bell cuts a deal with Prop Joe to sell his package and split territory. Prop Joe has the goods. Stringer Bell has the territory. His rationale is, what good is territory if you don't have the best product? See, he was thinking of it like he was in economics, but he didn't understand the savageness of the streets. There's no honor amongst thieves. And when you gave up territory, you look weak. Eventually, that led to Marlowe coming in and Prop Joe getting canceled and Marlowe taking over the Connect. Avon gets out and asks Stringer, how this young boy got all the corners? Avon realized you wasn't smart enough to be in the real legit business world. and you ain't savage enough to live in the streets. You're a man without a place. So when you watching this, every Stringer Bell needs an Avon that won't sweep it under the rug. And Shedor's Avon is his fans. Y'all don't sweep it under the rug. You don't let people say stuff and keep it pushing. You remind them. And that is the crux of the problem. It's not Shedeur. It's the people who said, we're not sweeping what you said on the rug, and we're going to call you on the carpet every single time. That's the problem. I think that was cold. I thought that was crazy, but who knows? Black Spider-Man, Deflategate, Bountygate, now Gamblergate. And then here's the thing, Black Spider-Man. As soon as they would watch this, watch how they be flopping. As soon as they would have put a bid in and got Sorsby, they was going to come back and look at the Cleveland Browns and say, you big dummies. Now you got Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and a gambling addict on your team. The same people that would have sat up there and jumped up and down and said, I would take him, now will then join the national media when they start mocking them for being the Browns and doing something that was crazy like this. Andrew Berry has to go. I'm letting you know how it worked. Christy in Callaway, thank you so much for the super chat. G. Bush, the truth was about their real motivation to lie on Shedeur will rise to the top. Shedeur will rise into the top. God is going to use the NFL and mainstream media's injustice towards to reveal the ugly truth. That's half of where we are today. The reason I had to say something, because I said, you guys are getting too far out the framework. Like you was talking about an interview process. You're going to have a very difficult time justifying talking about somebody's interview process and how they botched it, and then justify somebody gambling on his own team. You can't make the leap. That's why, when phrased that way, you notice everybody is quiet again today. When phrased that way, you can't even make the leap because there's cognitive dissonance. You understand that what you're saying goes against what you've preached in the past. What you're saying goes diametrically opposed to everything that the sports media has stood on for the last 70 years. Now, all of a sudden, because it's expedient and because you got somebody that you can use to actively discredit another person, you're willing to overlook that. You can't do it. It's the reason why it's quiet. Shabby Mojo, Shedeur will prosper to week one starter. God put him in Cleveland for a reason. He's here to lift our title, this curse, and finally lead us to a ring. Oh boy, I hope so. And by the way, I just think, for the most part, I'm excited because it's new energy. See, people give me, it's tough. And I had to realize this year, sometimes, let me give you this. Sometimes in relationships, both parties can learn from each other. My goal coming into this thing for everybody that came following Shedeur was to turn those people into Cleveland Browns fans. And I think we've worked, and I think a lot of them are. And I thought I was helping them out, but actually they helped me out. Because what they also showed me from their outside perspective is that just because a lot of people stand up and wave the pom-poms or wear the jerseys and cover the team doesn't mean that they're for the team. That's become very evident in this whole conversation. And I think you people for that. Because sometimes you can come in thinking you doing something and helping other people see the light, but you help me see the light too. Just because you got a Browns jersey on don't mean you want the best for the Browns. Just because you cover the Browns don't mean you for the Browns. There's levels to it. And it's painfully obvious that I was under the false pretenses that at least more than not people were in on it. Boy, it ain't but a couple of really, it is not as pronounced as I once thought. This is all, to a lot of people, this is the ends to a means or a charade. Say hey, says Sorsby, bet the under on his team passing yards twice. Why? And they want to talk about bad interviews with Shedeur. Let me just tell you this too. And I combated this. Don't tell me it's not the same thing with Clause A. Let me tell you something. I've been in compliance meetings. See, that's the difference, man. This is why. And I don't do this often. I played college football. I've been in compliance meetings with the NCAA and the academic advising places and signing off paperwork. When you sign your letter of intent, when you sign your yearly scholarships that you're renewing, you sit and you talk about what you are not about to do. And gambling is the longest part of the presentation. It doesn't matter that you didn't gamble specifically on your team. You open yourself up to blackmail. You open yourself up to nefarious people who know you bet, who know you play, who know that if you wager, what the consequences are. So it doesn't matter if Clause A was throwing pitches. When you gamble, you open yourself up to somebody saying, hey, buddy, I know you're an athlete. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me every single time that you're in practice and the quarterback looks like he's shaky. You're going to tell me if he broke up with his girlfriend. You're going to tell me what the game plan is. Oh, you're going to let me know that you guys feel on offense that you guys can run the ball, and I need to know whether or not I need to bet for under 200 or 300 yards. You're going to let me know who's not going to play in the first quarter. You're going to let me know every ankle sprain. You're going to let me know every academic probe. You're going to let me know everything. You know how you're going to do it? Because you're going to be in the room. It doesn't matter if he was starting quarterback. He knows what the starting quarterback knows. He knows the game plan. He knows his roommates. He knows his teammates. He knows what the game plan is. Stop it. People coming up with this crap off the top of their heads. And you ain't never been in no meeting talking about none of this stuff. That's the problem. And I'm not saying you have to be in every single meeting to know this. I'm not saying you don't know anything if you're not a football player. But the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and act like with your informed opinion about something that you've never been a part of or in that locker room means. Go back and watch Louis Riddick and Damian Woody. I don't agree with them all the time. But when they sat there and talked to Mike Greenberg on ESPN and NFL and talked about why they wouldn't put him in the locker room, it's because every single player knows that. No, you're not going, no, we don't respect it. We don't respect that, bro. It is what it is. Let's keep going. Ms. Bell. Being white is a requirement that nephew will never have. So the mistreatment is expected, not accepted. And I'm thankful for his faith, for which his strength comes from. Let me just tell you something, too. The problem they're going to have is this. We live in an echo chamber. But let me tell you something that I learned, because I get emails all the time. I get tweets all the time. I get DMs all the time. There are countless, more than I can count, white people. That is always, and I mean, they are white as white can be, that will go to the mat for Shadur Sanders. Will go to the mat for him. Ain't they see you aunties through and through. And don't play about Shadur either. There is Asian people. I got an Asian CU auntie, white. What you talking about? You can't say nothing. Listen, you know why? because it don't even, for a lot of people, they boil it down to what they want to boil it down. But he got a global fan base. There was them same people that was getting them Shedeur jerseys that was crying. All them, but there wasn't but a bunch of NAACP voters. It was young dudes, old dudes, white people, white women, white men, Asian women, all the whole Rainbow Coalition, whoever it is. You know why? Because they rock with him, not because of what you see, it's because of what the content is. And he can play. Why do I feel like I gotta always say that? And on top of that, besides the fact that I love what he is spiritually, I love what he does in the community. I love what his family is about. I love his messaging. No, I'm not saying he's not without faults, but I love all those things. But the thing I love too is he can play. Sanders speaks. During the head coach search, the Browns specifically had a question. Shedeur Sanders. So I don't engage or ignore BS opinion-based reports. He's the plan for the future. Because you know they asked him about it. Sandra Speed, you know they asked him, Sandra. You know they asked. Black Angus G, you got S. Johnson voiceovers narrating Big Ups, Big Bakery and Loins. That dude, shout out to him. He one of the biggest doing it, man. I watch his food blogs all the time. Huge into food blogs. Huge into it. Huge into food blogs. You know what I'm actually into as well? Making sure you get your hair cut. And you already know what it is, man. Make sure you check out my guy, my man at Phenomenal Barbershop, Jason. Shout out to him. He's been rocking with the Barbershop as a sponsor for a very long time. I think since the beginning of time. I didn't know him for a long time. Call Jason to book an appointment. 216-385-8861, 216-385-8861. You can go see him at 11827 Detroit Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio, 44107. Phenomenal Barbershop, official barbershop of G. Bush. Let's continue going. Lindsay Away says the toxic media narrative is that the quarterback competition isn't very good. Listen, Lindsay, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for dropping that. Thank you for dropping that, because that's been something that's been getting on my nerves a little bit too. Even when Todd Monkin says something, even when Todd Monkin consistently says that he has two starting quarterbacks, loves the progression. Let me ask you a question. This is why I'm not going to tell you. I got to show you the difference between me and them. Let's show them. Can I show you real quick, chat? My goodness, man. It's a shame you got to do this, don't you? Ain't it a shame you got to do this? What does the quarterback coach say? This is the person that's spending time with him every day. What is the quarterback coach saying? He says this, and then you get up here and say, well, the quarterbacks aren't very good. And the quarterback competition is basically based on the fact that both guys aren't doing anything. What good are you if you're going to be a person that's reporting on the team and going to practice, but when the coach who tells you, when the coach who's specifically around you, when the coach is telling you these things, you ignore them, turn around, and write what you want?
He's done a great job of defining his footwork, playing with a base, learning the offense, working his butt off to really master his craft. And it's been fun to watch. He's done a really good job. He's gone like that. He's getting through progression.
It's fun to watch. He's been working his butt off, and he's going like this. Yet and still, every single day I turn my radio and television on, I got people saying, no film work, can't watch film, don't be working that hard, his footwork ain't there, hold on to the ball. How would you know that? So you telling me you know more than the quarterback coach that's sitting up here in front of people telling you that? How?
Progressions, getting through progressions faster, and his feet are matching that mindset. He has been receptive to everything. And that's been it's been great. As you look at Shedeur, the off-schedule plays that he made last year, maybe his measurables in the combine and coming out of pro days and all that other stuff, maybe they're not quite what elite athletes are considered. But I'll tell you what, if you just go back to the video from last year and even his college video, you see an athlete that plays a lot faster than maybe the measurables indicate.
I shouldn't have to play these, fellas. I should not have to do this at the end of my shows. I shouldn't. Should we be doing this? Why do we have to keep doing this? Let me ask you again. That was his quarterback coach. Huh? Can we keep talking about it? What is this? I don't even know if this is the right Todd Monkin clip, but I will show it.
We come along early on, getting his feet underneath himself and learning the offense, but he's certainly put himself in position to make plays down the field.
I don't understand why we have to keep showing these. Because if I didn't show these, the narrative would be we would make it up. All right, so we've heard from his quarterback coach. We've heard from Todd Monkin himself. How's about we hear from one of his teammates?
From the point I got to the Browns during that season all the way to now, like you can see the growth big time. And the way he carries himself, the way he practices, you can tell like he's being even more than the pro that he was last year. He's getting better and he's getting more comfortable in the offense and he's going to make plays. It's been great, man. Them playing their butts off.
I don't understand it. This is veterans in the locker room who said, I saw him last year and I saw him this year. Why do we have to go this route? Why? So we heard from a player. We've heard from his quarterback coach. We've heard from the head coach. How's about the guy who chose him? Andrew Berry, can you add something to this?
We're in a good spot. We're a young team, and that's certainly by design, and we'll certainly have our growing pains. But we are excited about this core and looking forward to seeing what they can do in the fall. It's been good competition this spring between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. It's good to see Deshaun healthy, moving around, learning this new system. He's had a really strong spring. And Shedeur, he's made incredible strides over the last 8 weeks. Really, really pleased with his progress. He's a naturally accurate as a quarterback.
So you telling me I didn't show why is this? Why do you, this is the problem I have. This goes to an institutional situation. This is institutional wise when I talk about the media. Why should I be here 2-3 hours into a program and I have to play sound bites over and over and over for multiple cases to refute tomfoolery? I'm showing you what the guy said, but yet still you keep telling me what you think with nothing behind it.
His command of the operation, control of the huddle, all of those things, you can tell that with a year under his belt, he's making big strides. So,
but he's a 5th round pick. You sound stupid. Here's what I would say. Here's the new game that I'm gonna play. If you are at June 20th, 2026, and we are having a conversation about Shadur Sanders, and you mention sliding in a draft, 5th round pick, or his father, we shouldn't even converse. Because it's a lost art. It's a lost conversation. There's no need for me to talk to you at all. Because frankly, it's like having a conversation with people who still think the earth is flat. Or maybe we never went to the moon. Okay. Listen, I got a lot of things to do. I would rather spend my time on things that can be productive. Because if you sit here and you want to validate, you're telling me you validate a hearsay narrative over what the actual general manager, head coach, quarterback coach, and his teammates said this year after he's already been on the team for a year. It shows me that you are not, you're unattached from reality.
He's had a really strong spring. And Shedeur, he's made incredible strides over the last 8 weeks. Really, really pleased with his progress. He's naturally accurate as a quarterback. His command of the operation, control of the huddle, all of those things, you can tell that with a year under his belt, he's making big strides. So we are looking forward to seeing how the competition plays out throughout training camp and the preseason games. We're optimistic. We're cautiously optimistic on both players, and can't wait to see them in game settings.
Can't wait to see them in game settings, but we spent the last doggone weekend talking about Sorsby. This is why we do what we do. Lindsay, thank you so much. Northeast Ohio is very unseasoned culture. Every down south, everybody got a little taste of seasoning, and Shedeur is too much seasoning for them. They'd rather lose than have this type of seasoning at quarterback. I like big truck driver. I like the word seasoning. It is kind of bland. Never, ain't nothing worse than a bland tasting dish. Derek Billingsley. I think Deshaun Watson knows he's quarterback too. If you pay attention to the wording, he said, "I'll be ready when my number is called." Starting quarterbacks don't do that. I think one of the things that Deshaun Watson said that I think was poignant was, "I'm just trying to make it through the season. I'm just trying to make it I'm trying to make it through the season." You know what I'm saying? Lindsay Away. Also, shout out to the Dogs, the Cleveland Browns podcast, who did a side-by-side stat review of Shedeur and Sorsby. Hey, the Dogs, the Cleveland Browns podcast, they've been cooking. They've been cooking. I like they setup too. I like they setup. I really do. I might have to go over there and cook with them one day. I like they setup. They put out their content quick. They dominate the Twitter timelines. I like their business process, man. Shout out to them. Auntie Faye is also lit. Shout out to her. Auntie Faye, she reminds me, like, literally, I got like 4 aunts like her. 4 of them. Like, she the one, like, she the best. Auntie Faye is like, matter of fact, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get Auntie Faye on. We're going to have to, Auntie Faye, if you hit me up on Twitter, we got to get you on. We got to get you on. Somebody reach out to Auntie Faye, because, like, I'll be watching her stuff and I'll be cracking up. Because I got 3 aunts that's just like that. And they all play spades and dominoes. And listen, and you tell the kids, hey, do not be picking up Auntie Faye's cup. You got to tell the little kid, don't be picking up that cup over there. That's a grown folks cup. We got to get her on. We got to pull up. She got to pull up, man. She's funny. She's hilarious. Sean says, to be honest, the film breakdown is my favorite show. Best is facts over feelings. Of course. That's what the principle we stand on. By the way, what we're going to start doing to ramp this up, we're not going to wait for the games. About a month prior, I'm going to reach out to Tyvis. I'm going to say probably in August. What I want to do is we're going to start up our film review as well. We focus a lot on offense. Film review, we're going to start that up again in August. Ramp up to the season. We're going to give you a film review on players from last year, film review, kind of, figuring out what guys can do it. We got a Jarrett Verse one coming up. So we're not going to wait till the season comes. We're going to start film review. Those are going to be members only. We're going to start cooking those up. So if you want to become a member, make sure for that film review, we're going to start cooking that up. August, we'll be back with that. We'll run those all the way. We will be breaking down the preseason games. We'll break down all the way through to it. So you want to be a member, scan that QR code and get ready. So we will start film review in August. It's the best part of what we do, man. I think so. Let's see. Aaron says, Ohio urban culture and all ethnic groups love Shedeur. It's the 50 and over hate his father because of his knowledge in the marketing and making money. Christ got Sanders covered. I still can't understand. I still don't understand the Coach Prime hate, bro. It's I don't know. People be telling on themselves. Everybody wants you to be humble, bro. Let's stop. Y'all reward humbleness, not humble people all the time. It's funny how you want humble people and you say, well, listen, I like him because he's a straight shooter. Man, stop. Please don't true Cleveland fans and Cleveland media in the same sentence. Yeah. Hey, you're right. Just because it ain't in the same sentence. I had to learn the hard way, man. I thought it was different too. G, love you and Rosie. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much. We want to thank you guys. We appreciate everybody holding us up and praying and doing all kind of good stuff and just showing love, bro. Like, I really feel like this year is going to be the funnest year ever. I really do. I really do, man. I just think it's going to be a fun year. I think we're going to get a chance to see these young guys play. I think it's going to be some ups and downs, but I think it's going to be great to see these young dudes and see what they got. And I think when you say hashtag New Cleveland, I feel like this year we can establish a whole new wing to the base. A whole new, like, these guys want it. These young dudes is waiting for some people to come along and get behind them. And like Colin Cowherd said, he got some Tebow in him. If they win 2 games, this thing gonna be on fire. Colin is under somebody. He didn't talk to somebody. Oh, boy. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Eric 23 ATL. We in the building, Barbershop fan. I missed the Final Cut live, but I watched the video later. Thanks, G. Bush, Earl, and Hope Tyvis. Best with the newborn. Happy Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865. Shout out, I say this too. Shout out to Tegna. Shout out to WKYC. I salute any corporation, any company, any business that's saluting and giving their employees off on Juneteenth. If I'm going to talk about what I don't like, I got to give people their flowers. When Juneteenth came around, the first thing they did, and I'll give UCSS credit, they said, oh, no, we're going to give y'all Juneteenth off. And I salute them for that. Thank you always, Eric, for being a member for 7 months. You one of the OGs. I appreciate you. CMD played towing. CMD played towing. All the Browns hype died for me when AB traded Myles Garrett. Cleveland Browns management don't know football and they don't want to win games. Well, let me just tell you that little inside. CMD. They didn't want to trade Myles Garrett. But Myles Garrett was not going to play for the Browns no more. He was not going to come to camp. He wasn't going to come to camp. And so the only team available was the Rams. And they got Jared Verse for him. I was upset too, but I'm going to keep it real. Myles Garrett had played his whole career here. It was evident that during the time frame, he wanted to play for a winner. Same thing happened to Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas said, I'll stay. But he wanted a chance to play for a winner. And so the Cleveland Browns didn't really have a choice in the matter. They had to move him. Had to move him. So it killed the hurt for a little bit because I'm a big Myles Garrett fan. I'm a big fan. I love his family. His mom and dad, salute them. He gave the city a bunch of memories. But I also salute the fact that he wanted to, that's the biggest pinnacle in his career. That's what he wanted to do. Tally Heat. How would they act if Taylor Green gambled? If it was Taylor Green wouldn't be, he wouldn't have got drafted. What you talking about? He barely got drafted and he didn't do nothing. Shedeur Sanders barely got drafted and didn't do nothing. What you talking about? You know what they would have done. Derek Billingsley became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, my brother. We appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Derek, make sure you hit us up. Fifth Dimension Media 1 at gmail.com. FIFTH Dimension, DIMENSION Media, MEDIA 1, the number 1 at gmail.com. Let us know where we can send your t-shirt, shirt size too, and we will get that out in the mail ASAP. Hey, Antonio Walton, you listen to the same thing. We appreciate you. Make sure you hit us up. Beautiful family right there as well. I love seeing it. Make sure you hit us up so we can show you where to send your t-shirt to. Seraphim, he says, you need a pair of clippers in your hand for your closing. That would be, I do got some clippers too. I got some. G. Bush on Well Off Media, there's a film, a Shedeur watching film teaching the Colorado quarterbacks how to read plays. I thought, we mentioned that, Patrick. We mentioned that because we thought that he needed to be shown how to watch film. He said we need to be shown. I thought he did a good job of telling them and breaking it down. Nate Easley, they are so scared that the Cleveland Browns are going to be the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL. Remember what I say. It's a team that go to worst to first every year in the NFL. Why not you? Why not you? Shabby Mojo. Can't even watch local media. Shedeur hate is getting old. It gets old, Shabby. We appreciate you. I don't understand it. Seriously, I don't get it. At this point, the organization keeps telling you what they're excited about. But let me ask you a question. If any other person told you what they felt about the quarterback, and you just sat up there and you heard them say that clip after clip, what's making you then say he's garbage? What's making you say that? I need to know. Is what somebody told you behind closed doors so over the top that you would ignore what the people, because I thought it was about the people in the building. The people in the building were telling you certain things. Never mind. The last knocker says, they remind me of the crowd. Yup. Mm-hmm. Yep. Shout out to the 2-year anniversary of the Cavs championship. Shout out to J.R. Smith, says he has been invited back to the land. Get on that, Dan Gilbert. Man, and listen, I said this on UCSS. I love seeing one thing. I love seeing the fact that you got a chance to see those guys conglomerating with each other, talking to each other and stuff, and being able to talk and LeBron James and J.R. Smith and Channing Frye and Kevin Love and all those guys came back, and it just showed you how something special means to you, right? I don't think LeBron did that with the Miami Heat. That 10-year anniversary was beautiful. And get JR back. J.R. Smith had 2 big threes coming back from that game 7. Let that man have his flowers. Bring him back. Come on, Dan. You missing an opportunity. You need to bring all of them back. Listen, you need to bring all them back into one ceremony and sell out the queue. We need to get LeBron back today. Y'all need to be recruiting too. Shedeur showed us what was made of in the Bengals game. He didn't play well, but he dug in, did what he had to do, and the team kept him in the game so he could bring it home. Miss Melanated, thank you so much. That's a level-headed comment. You ain't going to have it all the time. Wasn't his best game, but when it counted, he got him downfield to get it done. Anthony LaFair, real talk. Do you ever hear stuff sometime on air and want to be like, please? They have then have to remember where you are. I also got my hoodie. Shout out to Rosie. Thank you so much. all the time. It's actually, to be truthful, all the time. That's why, generally speaking, what I like to do is I do my show and I talk to the people I talk to, and I do my show, and it's available and ready to go, so you guys can watch and dissect. But I'm telling you what, it happens all the time. It's one of the reasons why I started doing multiple shows, because you hear how I want to talk, right? You know how I feel about it. But I love doing other shows because it gives another perspective. And all the time, I started doing other shows because I couldn't listen to the other shows. I started doing shows because I'm like, man, I can't listen to this stuff. Where did this come from? Anthony LaFleur from the business side, 2 generates revenue like a franchise quarterback. That's why Watson's salary isn't a factor. They still getting the marketing dollar result. Half the battle is this. He ain't even really jumped off yet. He ain't really. I did a stream earlier, Barbershop After Dark, and I talked about why the Cleveland Browns have more of a trajectory to be like the Dallas Cowboys to become America's team. People don't remember Dallas wasn't America's team. They coined themselves America's team. Let me show you something. When you want to know how it's America's team, I talk about the Cleveland Browns in Northeast Ohio. Do you know that the people who watch this podcast, the majority of the people who watch are from the Cleveland, Canton, Akron, Northeast Ohio area in Ohio? But you would be surprised. 30% are only from Cleveland and Ohio. We got Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, LA, New York, Chicago, Fort Worth. What? It just go to show you. Charlotte, North Carolina is heavy. Boston. These is the top 25 cities. Only 30% that watch this stuff is from Ohio. That's global. When I go talk to sponsors, I tell them, I said, listen, forget the subscribers. Let me just tell y'all something. The Barbershop has a global platform. South Africa, South America, Europe, UK. Massive amounts of people in Canada watch. If you want diversity, by the way, do you know this? This is a shout out to the ladies. Do you know 21% of the people who watch this show are the ladies? Do you know that their watch time is almost double everybody else's? That's because they're locked in. For a sports podcast, a niche sports podcast about the Browns, that's otherworldly. You may get 3 to 4% if you're lucky of women who watch, and that's because of the draw of what Shadur Sanders does, and the draw of family content, and the draw of community. All those things bear witness. So I tell people all the time, I don't go out chasing a bunch of people. If you want the most diverse audience, the most locked in audience, it's 1,800 people in here right now. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. That's why we don't need much. We're going to talk to our folks over here. Tariq Nasheed said years ago, they look at us as one big ninja. and since we support Shedeur, he represents us. And if he fails, we all fail. That's why they hate him. Collective identity is a big thing. Collective identity is a big thing. But he also debunks the narrative, because there's so many people out there that support him from all different walks of life. Support Coach Prime from all different walks of life. Anthony LaFear, Jared's first sack, all first verse. Shout out to Lux. Gray Hoodie Lux. Hey, by the way, Hitman holla. He said you be up there crying. Hitman, you been crying? If you know, you know. Tally Heat, Nathan and Bo want Deshaun Watson because he throws the ball hard. Great thing about that is Shedeur's superpower ain't what he looked like throwing the ball in just shorts. The best quarterback the Cleveland Browns have had since in this area is Bernie Kosar. And Bernie Kosar threw sidearm. He couldn't run fast. He was gangly. It didn't look good. But he threw them not looking good passes all the way to the AFC Championship game twice. It ain't about what it looked like coming out the hands. What's the end goal? Touchdowns, completions. And when you listen to the number one trait, I got to show you again. I just want to show you. I want to show you so we don't get it confused.
We're in a good spot. We're a young team moving around, learning this new system. He's had a really strong spring. And Shedeur, he's made incredible strides over the last 8 weeks. Really, really pleased with his progress. He's naturally accurate as a quarterback.
What? No disrespect to Bo and my man. I work with both of them. But Andrew Berry didn't say he throws the ball hard. He says he's what?
Accurate as a quarterback.
Because I think that's the most important trait, right?
Pleased with his progress. He's naturally accurate as a quarterback.
Oh, that's all I want to say. Listen, shout out to Nathan and Bo. I don't know if they said that or not. I wanted to show you what my man AB said about being naturally accurate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not one person advocated for Sorsby to take a year off. Not one. Not one. Not one of them did. But by the way, they want Shedeur to get red-shirted last year because he was just obviously so dumb and ignorant. He didn't know anything what he was doing. Didn't know plays, couldn't get it out of the huddle. Dylan Gabriel was better than him. He should get a red shirt. But Sorsby Come on now. JP Jones, G, you give the people the gospel. You call it you call people on their BS. You are not scared to say what needs to be said. 99 eternal dog pound for life. You know what it is. East 99, you know what it is. Shout out the Bone. Come on, man. Guys be doing that stuff. We're not about to do that stuff. Out here doing that. We let it go on for a whole week. They just kept warming it up. I said, I know we ain't talking about this. This man just got banned from college, and then we gonna take him. Come on. But it was the draft. I mean, he messed the draft process. Buckneck 2022, Browns win 11 games. I got vodka in my Kool-Aid. Hey, listen. Hey, drink responsibly. Hey, 11 games, we're going to be sitting nice. Jay Tweezy says, hey, G. Bush caught the Emory Hunt cooking this week about the Cleveland media not pushing back on why Deshaun Watson was declared quarterback one on April 29th. Bull jump. G. Bush, Emory Hunt collaboration. Hey, Emory, we got to call him up. We're going to get that too. I got a bucket list. I'm telling you, we're going to get it done. Emory Hunt. We're going to get a Todd Monkin. It's going to be great too. Because when they come, we're going to talk football. We're not going to be on no tabloids. And I'm going to throw this out there in the energy. We're going to do the AB interview too. We're going to do the AB interview too. We're going to talk football at a high level. We're going to get all of that. And G. Bush is going to training camp. Come out and see me. You know, they be giving tickets. Come out and see me at training camp. if you see me at training camp, put the Clippers up for me. Emory Hunt, we got to do that one too. And by the way, before Auntie Faye, hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter. I got to get her now. We got to get her in here, man. Shout out to the ladies. We got to get her in here. We got, you know what I'm saying? You find her, let her know. No Manzaret says, Earl tore a buddy up on 92 to 3 defend this morning. I mean, he stood 10 toes down on business, made Buddy look silly. I don't know what he said. Well, Earl probably already was ready to go because we did what we did over there on what's it day on the final cut. You know they coming around. You know they slowly but surely coming around because they realize there ain't nobody coming to save you. Ty Simpson not coming through those doors. Malik Willis ain't there. Anthony Richardson not there. Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pitt. No one's saving you. You're going to have to actually report on what's going on with the Browns, not what you would like it to happen. So, motherfucker, dog pound, big dog. The Todd father will put out the best quarterback on the field, and whoever it is will cook. That's what happens when you got that offense cooking like that. King Music says, truly appreciate your content, G. But Shedeur earned our respect and support, and nothing was given. That is right. Stop acting like we out here fanning out. We don't fan out in the community. We don't fan out. Your respect is earned. We don't fan out. What are you talking about? You like him because he's famous. Come on, bro. You think that road where we come from, whatever block, whatever neighborhood we come from, you got to put in work around here, bro. It's dudes that you don't know nothing that everybody respect because of the work they put in. Whether you a community leader, whether you was nice in high school, whether you still putting in work, whether you're a good father, whether you a family man, whether you ain't gonna play no games. We respect what you do, not your name. Come on, man. CBS Rig. Cleveland's total defensive line will be better. Seeing Verse dance with his teammates was powerful. Football players know the importance of team chemistry. # New Cleveland. I love the fact that he came in and is already talking. I love the fact that he met with his people with the Rams and said, you know what? I want you guys to continue to go out there and ball out. I want to talk to my brothers and teammates before I leave. That shows what kind of leader you is. And I like his vulnerability saying, I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was planning my career here. But I like the energy he's going to bring here. And I'm still challenging you in Jared Verse. They keep trying to tell me you was a throw-in. You just a regular defensive lineman. Got you all the way up out of there. You were supposed to be a team leader over there. They shipped you to Siberia over to Cleveland. They don't believe in your quarterback. They don't think you're nowhere near the level of Myles Garrett. And they think you're going to win 3 games. And the only thing that's going to save you is Arch Manning or some other quarterback in college. You know what you can do? Let's see what you're talking about when the season comes. It's in your court. You can get them up out of here. You can prove them wrong. Go ahead and give me 12.5. Oh, you want to go up top? Give me 16 then. No matter of fact, why don't you just be Defensive Player of the Year? I think that's in your purview. Team leader is cool, but don't you want some hardware? See, once upon a time, Myles Garrett didn't have a Defensive Player of the Year. And I feel like you might have the talent to get that done. Let's see. You know they ain't going to double team you. They said they had to double team Myles. You think they can single you up all year? Let me see something. Media don't want black Nepo babies. Only YouTube Nepos only. Oh, please tell Jason Lloyd to speak on what he knows, not something he has heard in the rest room glazing. Amen. Looked like Shedeur know a lot. He was kicking that game, Miss Bell. By the way, Jason Lloyd, he said he's switching up. He wants Shedeur to play. I tried to get him. We was in the studio. I said, listen, let's do a wager. If Shedeur throw for 3,500, you got to wear the hand stitched to Shedeur jersey. He said, absolutely not. I'm not going that far. I said, come on, Jason. You already on board. You already here now. You said you want to see him play. So if you get 3,500, you going to wear the 2 jersey? Absolutely not. Shout out to Jason Lloyd, by the way. Sandy Lynn Patterson. Sandy Lynn Patton, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Nancy says 2 has that it factor. I can tell you that too. And King Music said we stand with Shedeur because of the work we seen him put in. Everything was earned, nothing was given. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Thank you, King Music. We appreciate you. And thank every single person around the clock who pulled up and watched the Barbershop. You want to know how you can subscribe? It's very easy. We make it easy for you. If you want to simply subscribe, if you pulled up and you saw, you like the content, it's just a little small piece of it, right? We got Saturday morning live stream. We got our Final Cut show with Earl the Pro and Tyvis Powell on Wednesday, 6 p.m. We got Top 5, which is coming up tomorrow. Top 5. We're gonna tell you. It's Father's Day, special Father's Day edition. Make sure you guys line up. We are going to tell you the top 5 statistical leaders in every single category: passing, rushing, receiving, interceptions, and sacks. Make sure you pull up 2 p.m. tomorrow live in the studio. We'll be downstairs in the studio. Pops is in the building. Make sure you get ready to hear that. So, and also, you want to become a member, right? In August, we're going to start our members-only film sessions coming back up. Scan that QR code. We will be breaking down film of last year, new players, and then obviously we're going to break down every single game, every single week. You get the Telestrated with me and Tyvis Powell, all 22. You can't find that very many places. And you get the free Barbershop t-shirt with your membership. So if you are a member today, make sure if you want to become a member and you are a member, let us know. Send us the email where we can send your shirt size to fifthdimensionmedia1@gmail.com, fifthdimensionmedia1@gmail.com as well. And then we want to also say thank you and shout out our winner. If your winner has not been notified, here we go. The winner of the Barbershop Nike t-shirt premium, the Nike Team Legend t-shirt, is Edward Ware. He's the official winner. And if you want to be the winner, right? If you want to be a winner, it's easy. You ain't got to do much. All you got to do is scan this QR code. We'll be giving out another shirt next week. So if you didn't win this week, no problem. Scan the QR code. Use the word cook. Use the word cook is the code word for this next week. And then if you meet me back, same place, same time, 9 a.m., right here on a Saturday morning show, we'll give you another t-shirt away and announce a winner. So we'll leave that up the rest of the show. We thank you guys for pulling up. I got a couple more super chats. We cooking. Hold on, where we at? Shabby Mojo, die-hard fan since 99. I was 7. Baker was the only quarterback to get us close to the hype we got for Shedeur. Hashtag New Cleveland. Shabby Mojo, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. You've been cooking, my sir. You've been cooking. Die hard since 99. And guess what? We've already chosen. The sheets of integrity have told you what we're doing. Where is it at? That, my good sir, is the super chat of the day. It is the super chat of the day. And you, my good sir, have won a t-shirt. Diehard Browns fan since 99. We got to show the diehards. Baker was the only quarterback to get us close to the hype we got for Shedeur and hashtag New Cleveland. Since you are the super chatter of the day, you receive your free t-shirt. Make sure you hit us up. You get the free Nike t-shirt. Make sure you hit us up. Fifth Dimension Media 1@gmail.com. fifthdimensionmedia1@gmail.com. For us, let us know where to send your shirt. Let us know the size you wear, and let us know where we can send it to your address. Shabby Mojo 125 is now the super chatter of the day. We appreciate you. Rosie, could you throw that do we have it in there? We should have the banner. Do we have the banner? Put it in the chat. Put that in the chat for him so he knows where to send it, because we want to get all them shirts out. If you haven't got your shirt, because we got a lot of new members pulling up, let us know. Let us know, and we'll get that taken care of for you. All right? We got a couple more super chats. Let me take this down. Got a couple more super chats here. We out here cooking. Isaiah Islam Makbar says, love you like a nephew, G. Bush. Browns are setting up to be good for years. # New Cleveland. We appreciate you, my guy. Sandy Lynn Patterson. Shout out to G. Bush and Rosie holding it down. Jamaican auntie. Oh my goodness, track and field lover until my son had me watch Well Off Media and the Sanders family. Now I'm a Shedeur supporter. Too legendary. Let me tell you what. Shout out to my favorite of all time. Usain Bolt is one of my favorite athletes of all time. The Jamaican women have been dominating. Stelling Ann Frazier, shout out to her. Also, Asafa Powell. Come on now. Come on. What do we got to keep going? Let me see who else. Who else am I forgetting? We forgetting Michael Frater. Are we forgetting? We keep. Listen. It don't make me be skipping them. And by the way, them oxtails, the pimento wood, the oxtails, the spices, man, them oxtails get it done. And that jerk, and the jerk, all jerk. She might be my new afraid of super chat. I love Jamaican food. All right, here we go. With that being said, if you want to go ahead and sign up for the t-shirt, if you want to win a free t-shirt, scan the QR code up top, and we'll be able to do that. With that being said, you never know what G. Bush might show up radio, television, internet, but if you want a fresh cut on sports, you always, I keep the Clippers with me. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great Father's Day weekend. And as always, you know what it is. You know how we do. Go Browns. Game day isn't just about the game. It's about who you share it with.
Hey, kickoffs in 2 minutes. Let's go.
With Fubo TV, your favorite teams are always right at home. From football and basketball to soccer and more, you can stream live sports, news, and entertainment all in one place. Miss something? No problem. With Cloud DVR, you won't miss a moment. And with Fubo TV, the game follows you from your living room to wherever life takes you. Because the best plays aren't just on the field. They're right here at home.
Fubo